So, pretty cool. Sonic returns very soon. All right? So, that exactly. Now, that's incentive. To see me look like a complete asshole? Yeah, that's incentive to contribute if I ever heard one, right? All right. Very, very nice. By the way, I've owned this hat, no exaggeration, over a decade. This was for Sonic Generations, was it? I think it was Sonic Generations. That if you pre-ordered the game at GameStop, it came with this hat. Which is ridiculous because it's a good hat. It's not like it's cheap.
At Tim Snortons, we have what you need to make it through your day. Need breakfast? You got it. Lunch or dinner? Made to order, just the way you want it.
Delicious.
Thirsty? Try our famous ice fap. A nice latte? Or a classic roast. And don't forget dessert, like our signature Snort bits.
Oh, it was good.
Tim Snortons. We've got you covered.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Dspnews, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Let's go. How you guys doing? So, so much to talk about, so little time. Initially, I didn't actually know where I was going to start with this. So, we're going to just go ahead and go into, I'm recording this on the 19th. I've actually done some recordings before this, but I'm going to actually go over this one in particular. We're going to go over the Bottom Bitch podcast from October 16th of 2023. Link to the Raw Phil channel's variation of this, or rendition of this, will be down in the description. So, I've picked 3 select cuts that will essentially make up our broadcast. First one will be this high-end clothing brand and LTG's influence, don't worry, I'll explain. Second clip will be DSP hyping up the new Sonic game, which by this point we all know was a complete and utter flop for DSP. And, you know, that is what it is. He reached too high and he got smacked down for it. And then the third segment is even more interesting. I had cut some pieces off, which are essentially DSP talking about gaming on his off time, as well as gaming with his wife Kat, and also talking about his struggles with weight, which also kind of is a backhanded smack to Wings of Redemption. But then I have other stuff that I want to say. Now, Jesus Christ. Before we get started, RIP to Flo. You guys know who Flo is. He passed away recently. I think he actually passed away on the 17th, to be honest with you. But I think it only came out on the 18th about the situation. And unfortunate. DSP, I think it was last night, had an opportunity to sit there and just be respectful and say, hey, RIP to him. My best wishes go out to his family, and end the story. Couldn't do it. Doesn't have it in him. And we'll talk about that literally in just a second. With that being said, welcome to my TED Talk. So, with the passing of Flo, it's a passing of the old guard, people who were in essentially came up around DSP and within his generation. I'm not going to harp on this too much yet, because DSP is off today. He should be back tomorrow, which it would be October 20th, and we'll see how the Bottom Bitch podcast goes. Because LTG last night basically just put out a small tweet saying, you know, hey, he was a nice guy. I'm sorry for the loss to his family or whatever. I'm sorry that the FGC lost him, and moved on. As it's the simplest thing to do. And DSP decided to fuck it up. But what is interesting about this, the reason why I'm essentially bringing this up, is it brings me back to something that happened on the most recent episode of That Being Said. I'm pretty sure it was Piece of Peace who was the guest on that particular show. And Piece of Peace brought up a encounter that he had with DSP on stream. Right? Like he played him Street Fighter 6. And we've all seen how DSP bitched out of that shit as of recent. Anyway, Piece of Peace and him played. I think Piece of Peace may have won, and later on in DSP's stream, someone had pointed out, hey, you played a troll, yada, 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 yada. And DSP was like, yeah, well, it's no big deal, you know, I'm welcoming, or I'm opening to that, whatever. And Piece of Peace said, for the briefest of moments, a glimpse of humanity was shown by Darkseid Phil. And then, literally the next breath, before Piece of Peace could say, you know, DSP, kill yourself, DSP went ahead and made a backhanded remark and did all that bullshit. And, you know, Piece of Peace basically took it all away. The point of all that, and I'll expound upon that later on, is you can't give DSP the benefit of the doubt on anything. He's not... I feel like people wrestle with trying to treat DSP like a normal person because they feel like they're just punching down on him at this point. Even though, well, I would say every detractor makes better views than DSP does. Maybe not myself, but most detractors do. And have far more influence than DSP does. I think a lot of guys feel like they're punching down speaking on DSP at this point. I'm not saying it's troll remorse, because you don't go around saying kill yourself as many times on stream as Piece of Peace does and have fucking troll remorse. But I do think, because Piece of Peace is a reasonable person. I haven't spoken to him, and I don't expect that I ever will. But he comes across as a pretty reasonable individual. I think we're scraping the bottom of the goddamn barrel trying to give DSP the benefit of the doubt on shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Piece of Peace will make that mistake again. Not to say that it was a mistake in the first place. But Jesus Christ! DSP is not a person. He's not. DSP doesn't look at himself as a person. He looks at himself as above that. So, yeah, you can't give... The point being, really, is you can't give DSP the benefit of the doubt on shit. Ever. 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 So, anyway, big ups to That Being Said. Big ups to Piece of Peace. Like I said, Piece of Peace corrected himself literally within the same sentence and shit because he you know, he's not the only person to do it. And he's not going to be the last person to do it. You can't give DSP the benefit of the doubt on anything. You can't. Even when it looks like he shows a glimmer, wait. Because I promise you he will disappoint you. Or I promise you he will counter your very point. It's what he does. It is what it is. So anyway, big ups to all parties involved and whatnot. I thought it was really funny, though, when I saw that. But here's the irony of it. That aspect, that situation that Piece of Peace had there, if you translate it over to the situation with Flo's passing, he had an opportunity to show a glimpse of humility, to show that he's an actual person. He can think out of his own fucking ass for a minute. He can get his snout out of his own ass for a minute, and maybe his own ears for a briefest of a second, and just be like, hey, you know, I didn't know him very well, or maybe I did, and I didn't have... Actually, don't even bring up the personal part. I'm sorry for his loss. I'm sorry that he passed away. I'm sorry for his family. Move the fuck on. And then if he wants to exploit that shit on his podcast on Friday, he could. Because that's really what it came down to. Because that's what he was essentially trying to tell Derek. Hey, I'll talk about it on this podcast where I can exploit his dead body later, even though he's not even cold yet. So we'll wait until Friday comes up, and I'll do something on that. But a sickening situation, but par for the course. Now, let's talk about what you guys are going to see here. The weight thing is going to be funny because I'm going to throw some heavy shots because I'm going to throw some heavy shots at Kat. Not necessarily at her directly because it's not her fault, but it is kind of her fault. It is what it is. She didn't have to eat all the food that was put in front of her, but whatever. But he's going to talk about his own weight loss, but what about Catherine? We've all seen that picture from her from a year ago plus. She packed on some pounds, which is ironic that DSP's systematically starving himself to bring his weight down, but then he let Catherine plump up. So that's a thing. The clothing situation, first off, you're supposed to wear that shirt that you're wearing, Phil, is like any type of insulation or thermal wear. You're supposed to be wearing something over it. You're an idiot going up there doing what you're doing and whatnot. If you want to flash the Piggy titties, that's fine. But, I mean, if that's what you're into or if that's what your audience is into, but supposed to wear something over that guy. And and LTG's influence, which I'll speak on that briefly. And then the whole thing with Sonic was just hilarious. It's hilarious that the gameplay for him, or that game failed for him, I should say. And really because it wasn't long enough. DSP really thought he was going to stretch that game out for weeks, which shows you where his head's at. So once you see all of this, it'll all flow together. It really will. It'll all kind of, no pun intended, but it'll all kind of flow within each, into each other, and you know my point will be made. Just interesting stuff that happened this week. Him ducking, you know, multiplayer in Street Fighter. The Sonic situation didn't play out well. The situation with Flow, losing all of those memberships. Allegedly, DSP spending more money in WWE Champions than what he made the week before. It's been a mess. So I've already recorded a bunch of that stuff. And so I'm kind of doing all this out of order, but it is what it is. When it goes up, it should be in some type of order. We'll see. So you might get more than one video next week. Maybe. We'll see. or it becomes a Friday thing. Either that or I'll do a stream. So that's the situation with that. Chris Chan came out talking. He's denying the allegations that he essentially raped his mother. Make of that what you will. The situation with JF is still fucked up. I'm staying on top of that. Might talk about that on stream. And I am keeping up with the progression of this whole Lol Cow podcast thing. We'll see how that pans out. That shit is nutty. That shit is really fucking nutty. And it makes me wonder who was trying to fuck over who in that whole situation. And I want to hear Boogie and Wings' parts of those. I want to hear what their sides are of that. And they're gonna lie, so I have to take all of that with a glimpse of salt. But I'm anxious to hear what either one of them has to say, because between those two nuts, I'll figure out what's what. I think we all will. So there's that. All right. With that being said, thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and we'll go ahead and get into the situation proper, if you will. I don't know if I'm gonna call this. Well, wait a second. My segment. Well, when I edit something, if you want to call it editing, when I chop shit up and then put it all together and shit, my segment will be called Bacon Strips, and then we have another segment called Bacon Cuts because we're doing something for Street Fighter 6, and then then there's another one too I got to put up here. But anyway, this is essentially Bacon Strips because, as you know, Bacon Bits and Bacon Sweats are already being taken. That's Aqua Teal and our boy Sunspot Gallery, respectfully. So we'll go with this and whatnot, and it'll be fun. I can't think of the third name right now, but I do know that I need to have it programmed up here for the lower third shit later. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Appreciate you guys showing up, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Yup.
Once again, I saw people in the chat commenting on how I'm dressed today. So today, it is cool outside.
Now, like I said, this is an in-house cut. So, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Big ups and what to the squad and everything like that and whatnot. I want to point out off the bat that I'm not sure if most people have noticed this, though, but when somebody mentions something about DSP personally, his physical appearance or whatever, the first thing he does is run his greasy fucking hooves through his hair. And he always does it in the exact same way. This right here is a tick, but it's also a coping mechanism too. He does it pretty frequent. He doesn't do it all the time, but it's frequent enough to where you're going to catch him doing it. Why does he do it? One, he's insecure. Two, his hair is falling out, which is why he puts such a focus on it. As if he's like trying to cover it up for the camera. And I think, honestly, he probably thinks that's one of his best features, which is interesting. It's an interesting way of going about that. But whatever is whatever. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Dark Side Piglet. Put that on there. That's great. Okay, we're here with Dark Side Piglet. This is from the Level 1 podcast from October 16th of 2023. We will have the link to the raw fill variation or rendition of this down in the description. Because, you know, that's what we do. All right. Like I said, this will be chopped up into 3 parts. Let us begin. Greasy, nasty hose. Like, why would you do that? God damn. Look at him sucking on the end of that water bottle like he's sucking on the end of his mother's tit. Jesus Christ. I mean cat. I mean what?
Once again, I saw people in the chat commenting on how I'm dressed today. So today, it is cool outside. It is completely raining outside, cloudy and cool, all right? This is a shirt from a company I've mentioned before, Uniqlo. You guys are familiar with this company? It's a designer clothing company. And you can get their clothes either at stores, if you can find one, or you got to buy it online. And the difference with Uniqlo compared to other clothing companies is that they don't focus on heavy clothing, but their clothing are very warm. Like, for example, this shirt is very thin. Look how thin that shirt is. Do you see that? But
that's a nice Nazi salute you got there, Phil. That's a real nice Nazi salute you got there.
Is very thin. Look how thin that shirt is. Do you see that? But the technology that they use, it's like a micro, see how stretchy it is? It's like a micro fabric, microfiber kind of a clothing line. So even though it's light, it's very warm. It's snug to your body and it keeps you warm, during the fall and winter seasons. And I bought a bunch of Uniqlo clothing right before I moved out here to Washington back in like 2013. They had just opened a Uniqlo store at my local mall in Connecticut. And so I went there and I bought a whole bunch of stuff because I loved it. And then I moved out here and I never wore it again because what happened? I moved out here and I started being on camera and I started wearing t-shirts constantly all day long. And I'll be honest, it's not usually too cold out here. So I didn't really need it. So I just never really wore the stuff. It sat in my dresser for
yet
like
again,
9 years.
proving that he's picked up a lot of the habits of his mother, being a spendaholic, if you will, or having just a severe shopping addiction, that he had sat there and purchased a bunch of shit that he didn't need, got to Connecticut, never had really any intent, or got to Washington, I'm sorry, never had any intention of ever wearing any of it. Granted, he's not supposed to wear it like this anyway. He's supposed to, this right here is like, it's like a thermal undershirt, and then you wear something over it, Phil. You just don't wear it butt naked like this. You can in the comfort of your own home, but maybe not on stream. It's probably not the smartest move. Anyway, but it just goes to show that he spends money frivolously just to do it. There is no real rhyme or reason behind it. He just does it because he can. And then he'll forget it. It just gets tossed in a box, it gets tossed into a drawer, it gets tossed into wherever, and it just sits there and rots. Now, the more important aspect of this, and this will feed into one of the later clips later, is going back to like late July, late July and August, when DSP was having his brief one-sided feud with LTG. And LTG was telling him, take better care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Put more emphasis on how you look or how you present yourself when you come on stream and stuff like that. DSP could sit there and make all the excuses he wants and say, well, that's kind of weird that a grown man would say that about another man or whatever. But it's stuck with him. And that's a thing, it's a telling thing that you find throughout DSP's history or his lore, that in the moment, he might be resentful or he might be standoffish of the advice. But later on, he will try to implement it and try to make it his own. We've seen this a lot amongst his own audience, where he'll take a lot of their ideas and suggestions and flip it into his own shit. That's really all the suggestion box thing is going to eventually turn into, more or less. But with people that he actually respects, I mean, even begrudgingly, like Tevin, praise be, or like LTG, or like other guys on Twitter or whatever, he will implement it eventually. And it's because he's insecure. And because because those people won't bend to his will, and because those people are their own men, or whatever the case may be, he respects it. And he will gradually try to do what he can to emulate or to try to be more like those people. Which is ironic in a lot of ways, because he ain't called LTG, for example, a bitch multiple times. He ain't sat there and called Tevin a criminal multiple fucking times. And yet, he has tried to implement some of the ideas or some of the suggestions or criticisms that they made against him. I find it fascinating. And that's just a small list of some of the greater things that DSP had, not greater, but some of the things that DSP tried to implement later on down the line. And he did it in a half-assed sort of way. And it came back to haunt him, as it should, to be honest. But the point being is that you're seeing a lot of LTG's influence being cast upon him right here and right now. Because why now, after, however many years it's been since you've left Connecticut? 14, sorry. Why now pull that out of a drawer or out of the closet and start wearing it? Why now? You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'd be more surprised that he didn't go out to Ross or wherever it is that he's buying all these shirts, all his button-downs and all this shit from, and didn't just buy it there. And who's to say that he didn't? But you know what I mean? So his story about going to the mall, buying this particular brand that he fell in love with, and bought a bunch of it, and then brought it to Washington or Seattle. Well, brought Washington State or Seattle. And now he's all of a sudden starting to wear it. Could be very well a lie. He could have easily have gone to Ross or Burlington or wherever the fuck he's been going, see the brand that he saw in Connecticut, and decide to purchase it all on the cheap there. But, that's just me theory crafting, if you will. Swine crafting is probably a more accurate description. But who can say? But let's continue.
Almost untouched. I've got sweaters. I've got all kinds of stuff from Uniqlo. So I told you guys, as long as it stays cool, I'm going to wear some fall-like clothing. And so today I decided I would wear this one. A little different. Every day I wore something a little different, right? Like the first day there I wore a long sleeve with like a nice buttons. And then yesterday I wore a full button-down shirt. And today I'm wearing...
Wait! I just thought about it. Do you guys remember... I want you guys... You're going to have to dig deep for this. 2017, right after Panda left him, money was extremely tight. He didn't know how he was going to be able to make monthly bills and so on and so forth. And it was starting to get cool. It was starting to get cold. Not even cooler, but it was starting to get cold out. And he was supposedly so hung up for cash that he couldn't turn on his heater. So he had to put on like it was like a long sleeve, had like maybe 3 or 4 buttons, like a brown shirt maybe. It might have been brown. It might have been green, but I think it was brown. And it looked like a 17th or 18th century peasant, to be honest with you. And he did like an Instagram picture where he's like holding his hoof up and shit and showing, oh guys, look how broke I am, that I can't even turn on the heater. I have to put on warm clothes. God forbid I have to put on long sleeve clothes to fucking stream it. Why didn't he wear any of that stuff then? I like this too. The phantom hooves. Like they're phasing in and out of the Gouty universe. That's hilarious. Anyway, why wasn't he wearing any of that stuff then? Why didn't he bring up any of that stuff then? And that, supposedly at that time, was a rather desperate situation for him. Never mentioned anything. Instead, we were too busy bitching at fucking War Dog Leader and how he can't make, healthy meals for himself because he's so stressed out in his depression and he has to stream and all that bullshit. So he decided to shit on War Dog Leader and at that time, the loss of his brother. Why wasn't DSP talking about this or wearing any of these clothes? Because not only does he have these thermal shirts and shit, but he says he has sweaters too. Well, why wasn't he wearing any of them back then? I'm just bringing it up because I'm an asshole. Makes you wonder. It makes you wonder.
Like skinny t-shirt that's very warm, right? So you shall see this kind of stuff over the course of the fall and winter, as long as the weather permits. If it gets warmer, then I'll change it up. But also, if there's something that's like notable, for example, tomorrow we start Sonic, so I'm gonna wear one of my Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirts tomorrow. You know, Mario starts Friday. I'll definitely wear a Mario t-shirt for the launch of Super Mario Wonder. I have several different Mario t-shirts that I can wear over the course of that playthrough. You see, so if there's something timely and I have a shirt that ties into it, I'll probably do that. But otherwise, I'll be alternating more fall clothing over the course of these next several months. Okay? So there you go.
Okay, so that's cut number 1. Holy shit. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and go to our next strip. Jesus Christ, Phil. That's heavily LTG's influence. Like I think people would be hard pressed for that. Because he's never been one to he's told you he's never been one to care about what kind of clothes he wears or what how he perceives people see him and what he looks like or whatever. But ever since LTG told him to fuck, I can't remember if he said something about work on his sexy or whatever the bullshit was. That shit is really stuck with DSP. It's really stuck with him, and he can't shake it. And it's funny because, truth be told, DSP knew that LTG was just saying, hey, you need to take better care of yourself. And you should, if you're going to be on camera every goddamn day, you should present yourself in the best light possible. But DSP decided to take it as a backhanded smack in the moment because DSP is a reactionary person. But as time goes on, you're doing exactly what LTG wants you to do. Just like what DSP does when his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics criticize him. He ends up doing the exact same shit we usually tell him to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I find that to be the wildest shit. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. But it's the wildest shit. Anyway, let's go into this next strip. Let's see here. Hyping up Sonic, which, truth be told, I had known this was going to fail. Not that the game is bad. The game is different. The game is different from what DSP is used to. And DSP is someone who's incredibly dependent on things being familiar to him. He can't function really with things that are new or people that are new and whatnot. And that's something that's been proven long before I said it. But you'll see what I'm talking about. Here we go.
Tomorrow is a big new release day. It's the first of the big 4 coming out in the next couple of weeks. It is Sonic Superstars. Most reviews are saying that it is a good game. They're saying that it has some flaws and it has some issues, but it is definitely entertaining and fun and a return to form for Sonic. Especially if you liked Sonic Mania, you know, many years ago, I loved it. Sonic Mania was one of my favorite games of the year that year. So this is essentially the follow-up to Sonic Mania, difference being it's not pixel art, it's actual modern graphics. So that's cool. I'm down for that. I don't know how long it is. I didn't see the reviews mentioning how many stages or how long this new Sonic game is, but I'm excited for it. I like Sonic the Hedgehog. I like classic Sonic. We haven't played one in many years, so it'll be good to get some variety into the streams, a brand new release. And I'll be wearing, like I said, I have multiple Sonic the Hedgehog shirts and stuff. And I'll make this announcement right now. Yes.
Okay, before he puts on the autism hat. One. It's hilarious how this shit crashed and burned in like 2 streams. He was real, and you could tell, like he said, you know, oh, a lot of the reviews say that the game is pretty good, it's fun, it's a return to form, so on and so forth. Obviously, he just took a cursory glance over what people were saying, and he didn't actually read it. He just interpreted it to a way that was comfortable for him. But another thing that shows, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is all about profit, he doesn't give a fuck about games or anything, which will lead into our next clip later, is that he's always focused on how long is it going to be? How long can I stretch this out? How long can it be bled out? He always does that. It's twofold. One, because he's trying to put as much material out as possible, hoping that he can get himself back into the algorithm. But 2, to try to put up the daunting task, I guess, of trying to fight off this is how you don't play, which is a battle that he can't win. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the Outsider won that fight years ago. Years ago! The Outsider beat him at that. But DSP wants to keep fighting it, so it is what it is. But and Evil AJ, obviously, like, you know what I'm saying, he's reigning from he's sitting on his throne of broken playthroughs, or at least the Metal Gear series at the very least. You know, looking down upon DSP and the peasantry, which is Phil's fucking fan base, or at least what's left of him. He's still trying to contend with that. And how long did he really think the Sonic game was going to be? And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this right here will be our starting point, if you will, on the flagpole of what's going to be this new Mario game. Now, this Mario game looks fucking fantastic. I remember watching, oh my gosh, he does One Piece content. Well, he does Nintendo content too, because he's an ambassador. He's a cool guy to talk to on Twitter too. Roger's Base. Roger's Base has been putting out like footage of this and done reactions to it and has spoken about it on Twitter for a while now. The game looks amazing. I don't know how long the game's going to be. It'll probably be longer than Sonic, but that game looks fantastic. And unless DSP is a complete utter fucking dent, which he is, and completely just botches every stage that he's on, he shouldn't be playing that game more than a week or two, to be honest. It really shouldn't be that difficult. And just like that new Sonic game, he can do multiple runs. Now, granted, this Sonic game is built around multiplayer. Really, they want it to be a more interactive game that you can play with people online or whatever. We'll speak on that later on. But the fact that it failed, for DSP, I should say, the fact that he failed at it, and he feels like he got ripped off, and he's pissed off because he couldn't bleed it for everything it's worth, which should also be on Friday's Bottom Bitch podcast, so that should be amusing, is chef kiss, to say the very least. Because it just shows he doesn't play games to enjoy them. He doesn't play games to see what innovations these new companies are doing. It's all about exploiting for every little bit. And it's getting harder and harder for him to do because he has no base anymore. Yeah, he posts on YouTube every single day and he's cluttering up the algorithm, but even with that, he has no footing. And he's not relevant in anything. Can anybody name in the last, just let's say over the last like year, let's say that, can someone tell me a new game, AAA? Well, let's expound upon that, or let's expand upon that. Just any new game that he's played that he got 20,000 or more views on. I'm gonna say 20 because that's fair, given that, you know, the size of his channel. Here, I'll drop it down to 15. Anyone can think of a game that he got 15,000 views on for the first episode, or the first, you know, video within the game series or whatever. It's gonna be few and far between. It's gonna be very few and far between. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's barely, when I went and checked the Sonic shit before even looking at this, he was still struggling to get to 1,000. He got there, or at least, pretty sure he got there. You know what I'm saying? I just took a glance as well. But he struggled to get there. So even this big four, when it comes to new releases, it's never going to be what it was. He's still going to struggle, which is going to be amusing, and if not outright hilarious. And then, on top of the big four, I thought we were supposed to be taking all the money that we could to pay for those new games. Because supposedly, his payday, which is the 21st, it's between the 21st and the 24th. He said that his payday is falling on the weekend, which is true. It'd be falling on Saturday. Which means, theoretically, he should get paid tomorrow on the 20th. If not, he'll get paid on the 22nd. No, he'll get paid on the 23rd. Yeah, he'd get paid on the 23rd. So he'd either get paid on the 20th, or he'll get paid on the 23rd. But he's sitting here bitching and complaining about it could be delayed up to a fucking week, which is not going to happen. And he's saying that he's not going to be able to afford these new games. But truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, who cares? He's not going to get the benefit from any of it anyway. Even with the holidays coming around, even with holiday ads, it doesn't matter. He's not going to benefit from it. So he's wasting his time. He's better off just playing them later on. He's not even in the algorithm, so it doesn't even matter. I can't even say that other content creators who do playthroughs will drown him out. He's not even relevant. He's not even in their space. So who gives a shit? Literally trying to fight a battle that he's already lost. It's so amusing. All right, here we go.
During the entirety, that's right, I just said it. During the entirety of my Sonic Superstars playthrough, if we hit the tier 2 goal of support, which is $100 on any given stream,
You're probably wondering why I kept this in here. I did it for a reason. Because, truth be told, look at this setup. Look how pathetic it is, right? Look how low effort it is and shit. This right here reflects the emptiness, if you will, of DSP's life. And his soul in a lot of ways. But in his life, he has nothing. He has a bunch of props to make him appear like he's more than what he is. And that's really all it really comes down to. DSP, Darkside Phil, Phil Burnell, they're all the same person, and they all have nothing. They don't have a goddamn thing. Neither one of these three personas, right? Even though Phil Burnell is not a persona, he's just the asshole that he is, but DSP is the same shit, and same thing as Darkside Phil. They're all the same asshole. The point being is that they have nothing to them. They have nothing relevant at all. And who is any of this shit supposed to appeal to? You're a 40-plus-year-old man baby. He can't even pull anybody from a younger audience into this bullshit. One, because of his language, which YouTube's not gonna recommend him to any kids anyway. And two, look at all this shit's creepy. If he's literally trying to appeal to children, this is creepy as shit. This is just fundamentally, fundamental, but this is fundamentally just off. It feels wrong in a number of different ways. This is poser shit, to say the very least. This right here is self-indulgence, and it's very clear to everybody but his dumbass. And he wonders why he can never get nowhere in streaming, whether on YouTube or Twitch. That's why he's not going to go to Kick. They're not going to offer him a contract. He has no footing over there. And if he pisses one, and I would, God forbid, if he pissed any one of those people over there off. The guy has nothing. You're literally seeing it in real time. The guy's got nothing. Even these Halloween decorations are shit. All those decorations that they bought year after year after year, and this is the best they could do? And yeah, it's me nitpicking because I'm an asshole. But Jesus Christ. This is what he does for a living, allegedly. He begs for a living, truth be told, but you know what I mean. And this is all he can produce? If this doesn't scream out lazy poser, as well as poverty stream, to say the least, on top of that, I don't know what does. Womp womp. And then his best selling point, or his only real selling point, to be honest with you, for a new playthrough, is a hat. A dusty, dirty hat that he's had for over 10 years. Nothing else. You do know that they make, Sonic hats and props and shit each and every year, Phil. And you want to go back to Old Faithful? The same shit that he could have made crazy money on going back during the vest streak. He could have made a killing off that shit and refused to do it because he just looks like he fucking has autism, and he certainly acts like he has autism, and he didn't want to be mocked relentlessly for it, unless he could put it behind a paywall. But then no one gave a shit, because over the 2 days that he actually, he actually played the game, he only hit that tier goal once. Once. It's a goddamn waste. I gotta tell you. It's literally like what I said so many years ago. It's like watching a man drown slow. And whoever jumps in there to help him he's just gonna drown them to keep himself afloat for a few more moments. It's not worth it. Just let him go. I mean, throw him a life preserver, and if he can swim back, he can swim back. If he can't, he can't.
I will bring out of retirement the Sonic the Hedgehog hat. I mean, if there ever was a pertinent time to use the hat, now is the time, right? So starting tomorrow on the premiere stream, I'm playing it again Wednesday, and then any day that I play it, if we hit that tier 2 goal, the Sonic hat goes on as I play the game. Alright, should be pretty fun. Actually, like I said, I have 2 Sonic t-shirts, so I'll probably wear those both Tuesday, Wednesday for the launch of the game as well. So, pretty cool. Sonic returns very soon. Alright? So that, exactly. Now that's incentive. To see me look like a complete asshole, yeah, that's incentive to contribute if I ever heard one, right? Alright. Very, very nice. By the way, I've owned this hat, no exaggeration, over a decade. This was for Sonic Generations, was it? I think it was Sonic Generations. That if you pre-ordered the game at GameStop, it came with this hat. Which is ridiculous, because it's a good hat. It's not like it's cheap. It's a pretty good quality hat. So it's pretty wild.
And let me point that out, too. As it pertains to Project 7, and a lot of those props that he says that he purchased or whatever. I've already gone over this, but let me reiterate it. That most of those things that he's talking about, those things were like pre-order bonuses or rewards. A lot of that stuff was that they were using as props in Project 7. He didn't buy all those things. He may have bought some of them, but most of those things were just pre-order rewards and shit. The reason why he can get away with saying, "Oh, I paid good money for this," or "I paid money for these props and for these other things for the for what Project 7 was supposed to be," is it really comes down to the fact that most people don't remember. If you still go to a GameStop, you don't get shit for shit anymore. You know what I mean? Whereas back in Phil's day, you actually got cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? Game publishers and developers put a lot of their money into the customer base or gave back to the customer base in a way that you just don't see anymore. That's really what it comes down to. And DSP, being the exploitive piece of shit that he is, plays upon that. So, yet again, he's a piece of shit that you can never trust. You can never give him the benefit of the doubt. Ever. Unless you can prove otherwise, you should never, ever give this idiot the benefit of the doubt.
That they tied it in with Sonic Generations. 100% polyester. It doesn't have a date. I wanted to see if it had like a date on it. It doesn't. Darn. But yeah, it's over a decade old. Pretty cool. Sonic returns for Sonic Superstars. All right, pretty nice. All right, tomorrow night on the late stream, we're gonna do some Street Fighter, and probably, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, this might be the last Street Fighter stream for a bit. It may be for a week or more. I don't know, if not even longer. But the question is, what do you guys want to see tomorrow night? Do you want to see me do Blanca in Master Ranked matches again? Are you tired of Blanca? Do you want to see me maybe go and try Honda? Or do you want to maybe see me try something completely different? Would you like to see me maybe try Dalsim in some casual matches and see how I do?
Yeah, this idiot doesn't want no parts of ranked match, as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't want no parts. Because, let's be honest, Blanca's been already figured out. He's damn near down. He's not completely downloaded yet, but he's damn near. His Honda, he's forgotten what to do with him, so that doesn't even work for him, and Lily's been completely and utterly exposed. So his best bet is to either run to World Tour mode and chill in there for a little while, because it'll probably be a while until the next installment for that comes about. Well, when the next character comes out, I should say. It'll be a little while before that, until that happens. So hide in there for a little while. Then jump into custom with a brand new character, and then eventually try to get his confidence up so he can go to back in the rank and try to build up through that. He don't want no part of Masters. He just don't. Like, it's getting to the point where I think eventually he's going to say, hey guys, I can't play Master anymore because console's just not cutting it. If you want to get the best out of me, I need to be on PC. I honestly think that's what the last bit of the selling point is going to be for him. And then if that's the case, he's going to want a new arcade stick for that too. As well as he's going to need a new copy of the game and all the bells and whistles that come with that. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's the way I see it. Now, will he probably jump back in rank with like Blanca again? Or jump back in the Masters, I should say? Maybe. But I think he's come to the realization that he's damn near been figured out. And he's reaching his limitations with Blanca, which is wild because there's still, like, DSP's not even scratching the surface of what Blanca's actually capable of doing. And by the time he fuck around and actually figure it out, it may be too late because people are already calling for characters to get nerfed, which I think is fundamentally a bad idea. Instead of nerfing characters, like, let's talk about the top two real fast, being JP and Ken, they should just buff the rest of the actual roster. That's what they should do. And truth be told, there shouldn't be any nerfs or buffs, I think, that shouldn't happen until at least the last character for this season comes out, which would be Akuma, I'm pretty confident. Because I have the Season 1 pass. So there shouldn't really be any type of buffs or nerfs until he comes out. Like, force people to actually learn the mechanics of the game and whatnot, and then once the end of the season comes about, then we can make certain adjustments. But instead, you have people pretty much right now, and they've been doing it for a little while, to be honest, calling for characters to just immediately get nerfed into oblivion. But no one's calling for really any buffs for any characters, which is unfortunate, because there are a lot of characters who need it. To be honest with you, I think Zangief, for example, he needs glowing hand back. Like, he really needs glowing hand back. He needs something to deal with projectiles and to get him in. Outside of, obviously, parry and some other, and the few things that are being implemented now. I think if they gave him glowing hand again, I think that would really help him. And there are some adjustments that do need to be made to the overall system. But what I'm really focusing on is just character buffs and nerfs. I think that should wait till the end of the season, but that's just me. But anyway, DSP, I think, is coming to the realization of what his limits are, and him jumping to PC is not going to help. He's just going to waste even more money or other people's money, and he's just going to further get exposed. And I think that's kind of running through his head too, his oddly shaped head, is that he just can't compete. He just can't do it. And as the days go on, more and more people are stepping in and are getting better, and which means that he's falling behind. And we're talking about someone who doesn't even have the fundamentals down as it pertains to the game and as it pertains to the game mechanics, let alone a full understanding of the characters that he's using. He's just trying to lord over people as hard as he possibly can. And this idiot can't even hold on to gatekeeper status at this point. Just something to think about. Legitimately something to think about. Like, he's sitting here crying about all these points and everything. Excuse me. And he's literally facing people on his level. Those are the people that are beating him at this point in Master. Just something to think about.
And then level up and maybe go to rank. Do you want to see me try Zangief again, who I haven't used in ages? Do you want me to see where Jasper is? What are you doing in there, Jasper Kiki? You're making noise. Okay. He's fine. I thought he was jumping in bags and stuff. Now he's just making some noise in there. So anyway, you know, it's up to you guys what you want to see. You let me know what it is that you want to see in Street Fighter tomorrow, and I'm interested in your input. But it's going to essentially be the last Street Fighter stream for a while. So I guess whatever you guys want to see. You know, someone just said World Tour. We haven't played World Tour in ages. I'd be fine to play a couple hours of World Tour tomorrow night, if that's what you guys wanted to. If you guys are totally burnt out on multiplayer and you want to see some silly World Tour, go back to my created character, run around, beat up character. I think we just unlocked like 2 or 3 different Street Fighters last stream, right? That I was learning techniques from. Remember that's right, I got in Dalsim, and I was filled with the stretchy limbs, right? That was pretty fun.
Actually, who was it? I hate when he does this smug ass closing his eyes bullshit. It makes a great screenshot though. Who was it that was consistently giving like $30 each and every stream? That was Game Trekker, right? I think it was Game Trekker. I'm surprised that once we'll just call him GT. Once GT bounced out, why didn't DSP just essentially try to grind his way through World Tour mode? I'm surprised he just didn't do that and then jump into Master Rank later on. I'm really surprised he didn't do that. Would that have helped him? Would that have helped him with player experience? that's debatable. For the average person, it probably would have. Not for Phil. Phil's far from average. It's far from being a person. But I'm just really shocked that he didn't do that. Like, I'm just, because the money wasn't there, the support wasn't there. Because Jax only shows up on Fridays, and he's only, what's he flinging out these days? $25 or whatever? So that ain't shit. So, which, just saying, Jax, it might have been a better idea to save your money, get yourself a car, get yourself a better job, and then you could have donated more money. Not that I advocate for stupidity, but if you're going to be stupid anyway, you might as well do better at being stupid. Anyway, I'm just surprised he didn't go to World Tour beforehand, because the support, financially anyway, for Street Fighter was already way down. But the bitch fest has been fantastic. So expect a form of a compilation, in-house cut of us and all of DSP's many rants and bitch fests over Street Fighter multiplayer. There's some hilarious shit in there. Not just the canon brother rants and shit. Like, there's just some really hilarious stuff in there. All right, let's continue.
Stretchy limb style. That was pretty funny. So, you guys give me your feedback over the course of today, and let me know what you want, and this will determine what we do tomorrow night in Street Fighter 6. We'll do Street Fighter 6, I'm just not sure what yet. I want your feedback, okay? Fair enough? Okay, so... and with that being said, let us jump into some shout-outs, shall we? So, taking a look, our first shout-out of the day is hilarious. It was from a troll who did several super chats just to say trollish stuff and then get banned. Thanks. I will say this. I don't know why people seem to be under a misconception, but on YouTube, if you do a super chat, the streamer keeps that. It doesn't matter what you do after the fact. It doesn't matter if you get banned. It doesn't matter if you try to charge that back with your card company. The streamer still keeps the super chat. Just like memberships. If you buy a membership or gift memberships and then you try to do something malicious after the fact, the streamer still keeps it. So it was just funny. People have come by here and they'll do like super chats with the insults, and I'll be like, so I'm not going to read your insult, but I'm definitely going to keep the contribution. And then the troll will be like, ha ha, I'm going to charge it back. I'm like, ha ha, number one, you publicly just said you're committing a crime. And number two, doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. It's between you and YouTube, not me.
That's not true. Because he said the exact same thing with Stream Elements and Stream Labs, and you saw how that played out. And he's very fortunate that he has enough Legacy donations that go through PayPal that they haven't limited his account. Oh, I'm sorry, they've already done that, but that was done because I think that was Game Trekker yet again, who was he was so frequent with his donations they thought it was some type of fraud or whatever. But sooner or later, that stuff will catch up to him. You think that YouTube's just going to sit there and keep dealing with it and so on and so forth. But after a period of time, if they feel like, hey, this guy is constantly getting all these suspect fucking chargebacks or whatever the case may be, they may just demonetize you, Phil. Because trust me, they've demonetized other people for less. So you sitting here trying to goat these trolls into giving you donations only to block them or ban them and say that, oh, I'm going to still get the money regardless, fuck you, this don't hurt me, could very well end up actually hurting you. Just like that situation with Curse, where you said, you guys can report me all you want, it's not going to do anything, you're wasting your time, and then eventually you got booted. You really shouldn't do shit like this, and history has kind of already taught us this. Yet you still insist on doing it. You're a fool. So when you eventually get demonetized off DSP Gaming, and we have to run over to DSP React, or we have to go back to KO Gaming, and you're making far less than you were making on DSP Gaming, it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be fucking hilarious. And you've already been there before, too. You've already had DSP Gaming demonetized. That's on record. Someone's going to see that. Excuse me. If they ever decide to demonetize you on DSP Gaming again. And you ran over the KO Gaming, and you remember the bitch fest that was for however long it was you were over there. 3 weeks, maybe? A month? If even that long. So, you keep fucking around, and you're going to eventually find out, Bacon. Just saying.
Sure YouTube's going to win that fight. So, I don't know. It's just really silly. that people do that. So thanks to Bob for the super chats earlier. Appreciate that. And by the way, there's no chance I'll ever read out what you said. All right. But our first legitimate contribution.
All right, that's clip number 2. Now for our main course and the third strip to make up this this incredible bit of breakfast that we're putting out here. We're going to be here going over same concept. It's going to be gaming with Cat, and then DSP struggles with weight. That's a thing, I suppose. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and change the demographic or the perception of where our horse is at. Not implying that this horse is anybody in particular. So don't at me. Here we go.
Seven Ven, no, I haven't thought about playing Sonic with Kat when she's off stream playing on the other Xbox.
Oh, and that's another thing too. If DSP ever, which is not even ever, he will. I'm guaranteeing it's probably going to happen it'll happen tomorrow. When he talks about, the game, that was definitely a sound crack, a voice crack. If DSP does bring up the fact that the game wasn't long enough or whatever the case may be, I hope people bring up Zelda to him. And all those pre-streams, those bottom bitch podcasts where he complained about bloat and how they just threw a bunch of filler in and the game shouldn't have been this long and no one wants long games like this because people only have limited time. You guys remember all that, right? All that pig squealing or pig whistling he was trying to do? I hope he gets called out for that tomorrow. I really do. Well, tomorrow would be today for you guys who are listening to this. I hope he gets called out for that shit. I really do. And I hope Mario goes by almost as quickly. I really, really do. Because I really want to sit there and have him sit there and say, when we pay for a full price game, I expect an actual long game with a lot of filling, and maybe him use a sandwich analogy or whatever the case may be. I deserve more for my money. I really want him to say that, especially when his money comes from crowdfunding, right? So, truth be told, the audience should really have the final word on that. But we'll see if DSP has anything to say about that as that comes about. Let's go to the beautiful and fulfilling relationship that Phil and Catherine have.
What? What? You do realize that when I am streaming, my wife is not just sitting around the house doing nothing. You realize this, right? Like, she has stuff to do. She's either at work or she has stuff to do around the house just like anyone else. She does cook a lot. She does a lot of shit. So, no, she's not just sitting there watching my streams all the time.
Jesus Christ. That reminds me of some shit that Wings has been saying recently about Kelly, because people are like, hey, Wings, when was the last time you cooked anything? He's like, never. He's like, Kelly does all the cooking. It was like, hey, why can't Kelly come on stream? Oh, I got her cleaning something, or I got her doing something. She doesn't have time for that. And I think she actually had a job interview just recently. Big ups to Lummox and Breaking Banquet on that one. Yeah, why the fuck don't ask for this useless bitch to come on stream and shit, because I got that bitch doing shit. Okay? We got fields out there that need to be plowed because she can't run the Kentucky Derby no more. There's fields out there that need to be plowed. This chick needs to be burning food in the fucking air fryer. She needs to try to figure out how to pre-cook, how to cook a pre-cooked ham in the oven. Like, you know what I'm saying? She has stuff that she needs to do. So why the fuck would you expect her to come on stream or watch my stream or me do any co-op with her? Even though he's admitted that she's come home from work and turned on his streams to see what was going on. He told us this recently. He's told us this plenty of times before, but he certainly has said that recently. But now all of a sudden, no, she doesn't have time to come on my streams. She has shit that she needs to do. What the fuck, Phil? Like, stop lying about stupid shit if you don't want to get called out for crap. Because that's where a lot of these questions come from. That's legitimately where a lot of this crap comes from. Like, that chick's like, first off, as it pertains to her having a bunch of shit and stuff to do, you guys are married, right? You guys are in a relationship, which is also a partnership, even though it's really just an arrangement. Why the fuck aren't you helping her with these chores, right? Or the general upkeep of the house? Why is everything put on her? Just like how it was put on Panda. Because remember, Panda did everything. She did all the cooking, she did all the cleaning, she did all the laundry, which is ironic because, you know, I don't think he ever said anything bad about her cooking, but I know he said that her cleaning wasn't really shit. And he didn't say anything about her doing the laundry because he couldn't, because this idiot didn't know how to operate the washing machine himself. And he was 35. But then again, this is the same idiot who has a fucking, he has a shower stool, right? The guy has to use a hand cart for everything. He considers exercise as him picking up gallons of milk at the fucking grocery store. So, I mean, you know, it's all par for the course, right? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Why aren't you actually helping her do this? You guys are supposed to be a couple, right? Are you mad because on your days off she makes you go out and do all the shopping while she sits at home and plays Skyrim or whatever the fuck she's been playing? Like, what is it? Like, the more he talks about their quote-unquote relationship, the more it comes across as it's just an arrangement, they're just roommates, just like people like me have been telling you since the start. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's really all it sounds like. That's really all it's ever been. When he couldn't exploit her, she left the stream and never came back. And this idiot is talking about dropping one of his internet lines. Why couldn't she use that internet line to, I don't know, do YouTube or to stream on her own time? And just make all kinds of lame ass excuses. Just be honest. I tried to monetize her. I tried to have a monopoly over her. It didn't work. So then you're just going to have her drop everything? I can understand why Wings doesn't do that. Because he don't want he doesn't want Kelly getting into one of those discourse and shit and someone go ahead and get her in a position where, you know what I'm saying, they end up going ahead and sampling her cookies. I can understand that. Because, you know, she ain't getting any nookie from fucking Wings, so someone else is going to have to come through, Shoe Baron or whoever. So, you know what I mean? I can understand that shit. I can understand Wings and his apprehension to it. But what the fuck is holding you back? Oh, is it because that she ain't gained all that weight? And someone is gonna ask her, hey, what happened? Are you okay? Have you been ill or whatever? And then she's gonna end up explaining herself? Because I doubt that she talks to very many people in her everyday life, to be honest with you. So, you know, having her stream would really open her up, I think, and not the way that, you know, Tyrone or Jim or anybody, not the way they do it. But that would open her up to actually finding out what goes on in her day-to-day life. That's why she put on all that weight. She doesn't have any type of real social or emotional fulfillment, to be honest with you. It really comes down to food and video games. And then, supposedly, on their off time, he don't even care about video games. He don't even want to do it. Despite the fact that we've admitted to WWE champions and that shit's being tracked. On top of the many times that he said, oh, well, I went into, you know, Kat's office and I watch her play games on our day off, or we watch other people on YouTube playing games. What the fuck are you talking about then, dude? You can watch other people on YouTube do a playthrough, but you and Catherine can't record something for you to throw up on the channel? You don't have to stream everything. You could just record it and put it on the channel. Maybe she could put it on her channel and get that shit started. She needs an outlet, clearly. I don't know. Start it out there.
To do. Let me jump in on my Xbox and co-op with Phil to do a playthrough. No. My work is separate from my private life. For a reason. You know? We don't cross that border of work and private. So that way we can keep things separately. Two different parts of my life.
And this goes back to what I keep telling you. I keep telling all of you. As it pertains to his ego. This idiot will sacrifice... He will make financial sacrifices to keep his fucking ego intact. And you're seeing it right here. Let's be honest. Is Kat going to bring in a crazy amount of money on stream or even through her YouTube channel? Probably not. Probably not. A few $100 maybe. But that's a few $100 that could either go to the Snort fort or could go into her pocket outside of what she's working for. And he's not even willing to let that happen. That's games that they could share between the two of them. Through game share on, at least on PlayStation at the very least. or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or they just have a mutual account on Xbox. Like, just each one of them create, like, not each one of them. They just create, like, a third account, like a family account. And they can share games through that. He won't even do that. He needs to be lights, camera, action, it's on. All camera lenses need to be here. And he can't share the spotlight with anybody. So you're so scared, right, of being irrelevant, as if you're not irrelevant already, that you won't even let your own quote-unquote loving wife, your mom, I mean, what? You won't even let her even get a little piece of the internet for herself. Remember how DSP used to bitch and complain to us? Man, I don't understand why these people keep coming after me. I just want to have this small portion of the internet for myself to sit there, play games, share my game experiences, and have fun. But he won't even let Catherine have that, or Kat. He won't even let her have that. So no one can ever tell me that it's about pride, because it doesn't have any. And no one can ever say that it's really all about his money, because it's not that either. His ego is really the driving force, essentially, behind everything. It's his ego. And that's why I think he's as stressed out as he is. Because that relationship is more and more of a fucking joke as the year goes on. He knows it. He sees it. And he can't do anything about it. As much as he wants to wish it to be real, it'll never be real. Just like how he thinks he's emulating his father, getting up, going to work, providing for his family. Nah, you're a joke. You're a joke. Every bit of DoorDash that you've ever ordered, every bit of pulls from WWE champions, all of that's at the expense of somebody else. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows that. No one's delusional. No one's lying to themselves about that. Everybody knows that's true. And he can't do a damn thing about it. It's really rather poetic if you think about it.
Mentalized. When it starts to seep over, that's when you start to see problems. Trust me, I've been there before, and I know from personal experience. I know what I'm talking about on this one, okay?
You're proud because you tried to exploit someone and it blew up in your face? That's a good screenshot. Let's hear that part back again.
When it starts to seep over, that's when you start to see problems. Trust me, I've been there before, and I know from personal experience. I know what
Look at that. Look at that smug, absolutely punchable, snouty face. Isn't that amazing? And he's actually smirking about it like he's proud. Oh yeah, guys, I sat there and flew this chick from Michigan all the way over here, and I tried to exploit her and say that, oh, we're going to do co-ops together. You guys remember that, right? They were supposed to do co-ops together. He tried to sell his own audience, as well as the haters, truth be told, on the concept or the idea of cooking with the king and queen, and that his audience shot that shit down right away. And all the other bullshit that he tried to make promises for, none of that ever came about because he couldn't get anybody to buy in. And now he looks back years later, oh yeah, I got to keep everything separate because if not, everything's going to get all fucked up. And I know from personal experience, guys. It's like that lesson was already taught and learned back with Panda. That lesson was already taught and learned back with John and Howard. Think about, if you really think back of all the people that he had some type of contact with. Think about how he tried to exploit all those people. Even people in his own audience that he used to do, brief co-ops with. You know what I mean? Remember, that was Brian and what was that guy's name? It starts with a... I'm not sure if it starts with a K or not. It'll actually come back to me the moment I unpause this bitch. But back when he was doing co-ops with like Brian and whoever that other guy was, back in those days on Twitch, you know what I'm saying? He tried to exploit those guys too until those two, actually, well, Brian really, became kind of the real draw. And DSP just ended up having to play co-pilot. He didn't like that, so they stopped doing all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's what happens. It's what he does. And he's never been able to actually figure it out because, as we said earlier, DSP is not a person, but more importantly, he doesn't look at other people as people. He looks at how they can be exploited, for how long they can be exploited, and for how much. That's really all it comes down to. I can't wait till I go over the John and Howard shit. You'll really catch what I'm putting down when that comes about. Holy shit.
Talking about on this one, okay? Okay. Oh, Adachi Cabbage says, what about co-oping with her off stream? Why would I do that? Again, you guys seem to be under this very odd impression.
No,
okay?
The odd impression is that you keep telling people that you're a lifelong gamer and you love gaming. But truth be told, you can't do anything unless it can be profitable. And he knows, honestly, he knows that making videos and just putting it on YouTube is not profitable. It really hasn't been in a number of years. At least since 2017. At least, shit, I would say even after that when the channel first got demonetized. It's just not profitable. That's why it's the reason why he's completely and utterly motivated to just stream. You know what I'm saying? The one place that he could put edited content out would be KO Gaming. And he's not going to do that until he's forced to do that. And even then, it'll take forever to get traction, if it ever gets any traction at all anyway. So, like, you can kind of tell by what he's doing, what he's trying to build to, or what he'll end up being forced to do later. And ironically enough, it's all going to fail. Each and every bit of it. Even now, he's going to sit here if he... I want to say God forbid, but if ever the words that, hey, me and Kat are thinking about doing a co-op of a game comes out of his snout in the next couple of years, remember back to this moment. It'll be October 16th of 2023. He's going to sit there and say, oh, well, people have been asking me for many, many years and even demanding that me and Catherine do some type of co-op or to start doing edited videos together or whatever. Sooner or later, it's going to happen because people have been demanding it forever. And I kept being resistant. Oh, no, I don't want to do it. I want to protect our privacy. But the demand seems to be there. You guys keep asking for it, so we're going to do it. I guarantee you that's what's happening. He's going ahead and putting everything into his little Piggy data bank and whatnot. I was going to say a base, but he's not solid enough for that. So he's going to put it in his little Piggy data bank, and he's going to wait. And he's going to wait. And when times get really, really hard and really, really desperate, and views ain't shit, as if they're not shit now, and he can't squeeze another dime out of these idiots on stream, then all of a sudden he brings her in for the trump card. But that's if he can even convince her to do that. He's been very adamant about her not doing content on her own channel. Why the fuck would she want to come over there and help him on his? Just something to think about.
That, like, my entire life is video games. That is not the case at all. In any way, shape, or form. All right? Look, I like video games. I'm a lifelong gamer. It's my lifelong hobby. Through tremendous amounts of stumbling into luck, I turned it into a career. Okay? So that's awesome. But when I'm out of this room, the last thought on my mind is, how can I play more video games? Guys, I'm in this room from 10 a.m. most days. Today I was in here late. At 10 a.m. till usually on most nights past 10 p.m. And it all has to do with video games, right? I'm usually playing.
First off, if you were really there at 10 a.m., why don't you have presets and pre-scenes for you to transition to? Why do you always have to adjust your camera for every different one? And that's a nitpick on my part because I don't have my shit set up in OBS either. Well, it is and whatnot. I just haven't gone through it and whatnot. Someone else was nice enough to do that for me. Don't judge me. But why don't you have presets for anything? Why are you always doing everything on the fly and you come across incredibly unprepared? On top of that, let's talk about your life for a minute. Tell me what your life's like, Phil. You don't do anything. You guys don't do shit together. You guys don't go to the movies. You guys don't watch anything interesting on any of the services that you have or supposedly don't have because you're broke and you can't afford those things. You guys don't do anything. There's nothing to you guys as a couple or as a relationship. You guys just sit around, get food, DoorDash, Grubhub, or whatever the fuck brought to the house, and you play video games and you watch dumb shit on TV. That's it. You guys don't do any, or not even dumb shit on TV. Most of it's just on YouTube. If anything, if you really listen to what he's been saying as of late, it sounds like they've been watching more of other people's playthroughs than anything else. Hey, Phil, maybe you could have Catherine go back and watch some of your playthroughs so she could point out some of the things that you could improve on. Maybe you guys should do it together, and you would see how shit your content is. Oh, that's right. You already know how shit your content is. That's why you have to watch other content creators to see if you can try to pick shit from them and then try to, you know what I'm saying, act like you've changed. Act like you're getting, oh, I'm getting better, guys. I'm implementing this. I'm implementing that. Where'd you get that from? Tell us where you learned that from. But he won't ever do that. He won't tell you who he's watching, right? Because he doesn't want that shit to bleed over on his ass, which makes sense. Like, there's nothing to you. You legitimately have nothing going for you in life, really. Which is weird, because truth be told, he has all this time on his hands, or on his hooves, and he does nothing with it. He has no time management skills whatsoever. He's going to sit here and try to tell you he's here from like 10 a.m. till like 10 p.m. And that's bullshit, because you guys know he takes like a 3 or 4 hour break in between. So we know that shit. And then, how does it take 4 hours to do dinner when, truth be told, you don't make dinner? Most times, Catherine doesn't make dinner. You guys order out. Or you guys heat something up. When's the last time they actually made something? And I already called this out a couple of videos ago, where if you really think about it, only thing that they make is either they don't make anything. They're heating up stir fry, which is already was frozen stir fry. They're making some type of casserole, some type of bake, some type of chicken, and whatever. They don't really do anything. They don't make anything. I'm surprised. They essentially have gouty cabin fever, if you really think about it. And I'm surprised they haven't flipped out on each other yet. But then again, maybe going back to that depression arc he had a few weeks back, maybe that's what it was. Maybe she's getting to the point where she's like, there needs to be more to life than this. Because we saw the same thing with Panda. Panda ended up wigging out in the exact same fucking way. I'm not saying that we should expect an Emergency Saga Part 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. Just something to think about.
Day, all day long, right? I don't want to make my personal life the same as what I'm doing when I'm on stream. The whole point is that separation so that I have two aspects of my life. For you guys who don't do video gaming for a living, right? You probably think, oh, that would be awesome. If I could just do gaming all day, I could do it for a job, and then I could do it. No. Because once it becomes your job, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it, because I absolutely do. I still love games to this day as much as I used to. But if you're in here all day, right, and you're playing games on a stream or whatever, and the question is, do you think about you're going to do co-op with your wife off stream? No. The moment I'm out of here, the last thing I want to think about is booting up a console and playing a video game, you know?
Now, he exposed himself. Great screenshot. He exposed himself here. Because he's saying, oh, you guys think it's absolutely great, or it's actually fantastic to sit there and play games for a living, and then you can get off stream, or you're done making your videos or whatever, and then you can play another game and kind of relax or whatever. Yeah, that's what most people do. And you want to know why most people do it? Because they're in loving relationships where they can do that. Or they have friends. They have family around them that they can sit there and unwind and go ahead and chill, and play some games or whatever. Or they can go out with. And then they come back, they play a couple of games, play some Monopoly, play whatever, and then they're done for the day. They have real social interacting, or well, they have. I'm right on that. They have a lot of social interacting going on, or social activities, I should say, going on, right? He literally exposed himself and basically saying, "This is all I have." And after I'm done with this, I don't want to do it again, or I don't want to do any more of it because I really have no one to share it with. So his demands, or his refusal, I should say, to not want to play games off camera probably isn't really his decision. It could very well be that Kat just doesn't want to spend any time with him, and she doesn't see the value in doing that. Maybe. Actually, I'll bring that part back so you guys can hear it again. Great screenshot. We'll start it there.
I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it, because I absolutely do. I still love games to this day as much as I used to. But if you're in here all day, right, and you're playing games on a stream or whatever, and the question is, do you think about you're going to do co-op with your wife off stream? No. The moment I'm out of here, the last thing I want to think about is booting up a console and playing a video game, you know? Absolutely not. I want to do anything but that. I want to have fun with my wife, relaxing, you know, listening to some music, watching some shows or movies or whatever it may be, going out, you know, doing some shopping, whatever it may be, eating food, cooking, whatever it is, not gaming. As long as it's not...
That's the crutch of your relationship? God damn, Phil. Wow, that's just really sad. And yet again, that harkens back to the Side Scrollers interview. Hey, Phil, what do you do on your off time when you're not streaming or doing videos or whatever? Oh, well, you know, I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of that. And it's like, so where's the actual work-life balance at? That doesn't sound very good, Phil. Remember how Craig and Adam pointed that shit out? And now look at him. Now he's trying to make it seem like it's more than what it is, and it really is not. The guy really has nothing going. They're two people that just happen to live in the same house. They benefit from being together without actually being together. And that's kind of sad. And it reflects, like you can see it in him. And more importantly, when you go back to that picture of Catherine a year ago, you saw that in her. No one just blimps up like that for no goddamn reason. And if the kitchen and if the house is in absolute squalor or disarray, right? Or the flop house that I think it is, right? There's not a lot of cooking going on over there. Let's be honest. And let's be honest with each other for a second. Because I always harp upon him buying fresh vegetables and then throwing it away at the end of the week. Is there something wrong with the refrigerator? Is the stove not heating correctly? Like, are any of these things something that he's thought about? What's going to happen when the refrigerator breaks? What's going to happen when the stove don't work? What happens when the microwave, burns itself out? Which are all things that could very well happen in the next few years. Then what? All that money on WWE champions and all that money for his drink and all that money that he basically goes to his spending habit, which is Street Fighter, if you think about it. All that's just going to go to waste when you don't have a refrigerator to put food in. Right? Which doesn't make sense why he's buying fresh ingredients to anything when they're known to order out more than 4 times a week. And if you guys even go further than that, King Cobra brought this up recently, amongst other things with that mead. We'll talk about that later. I plan to do a video on that one. But Cobra brought up he's part of some type of reward program for DoorDash. And I know DSP's on it too, because DSP told us about it years ago. That actually, I think it was during the pandemic and whatnot. So it gives them some type of discount if you're someone who frequently orders from DoorDash or whatever the case may be. Cobra brought it up, and it made me think back to when DSP had said that. So DSP, through this rewards program or customer program or whatever the fuck it's called, he looks at it as, oh, well, that's an incentive. I'd be wasting it if I don't use it. So that right there gives him the incentive in his mind that he needs to be like, hey, I don't have, if I don't use it, I'm wasting it, which is ironic because you think when he paid for that premium custom package for his BMW back when he was in Connecticut and never used it. At any time, he could have gone to a dealership. They'd have changed his oil. They detailed the car inside and out. And he wouldn't have to pay anything because he's already paying for it. Went years having that thing and never used it. But we'll use it for DoorDash, though. We'll use it for DoorDash.
You know, absolutely not. I want to do anything but that. I want to have fun with my wife, relaxing, you know, listening to some music, watching some shows or movies or whatever it may be, going out, you know, doing some shopping, whatever it may be, eating food, cooking, whatever it is, not gaming. As long as it's not gaming. That's the whole point. If my life is gaming in here, I don't want my life outside of here to also be gaming. Can you imagine if Chef Gordon Ramsay, who his entire existence is reality TV cooking, the moment that he went off of TV, people just asked him to cook constantly in his private life?
They
He'd
do.
take a big...
One, he has a family. Two, Phil, he owns restaurants, which he owned before he made it big in as a celebrity chef. Like, you literally have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. Like, his whole life is revolved around cooking because that's what he does. And he's really good at it. That doesn't mean that this dude doesn't take his family on vacations and shit like that. Like, I get the point that you're trying to make, but you're using a terrible example because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's really what it comes down to. Instead of you playing games for work, did you ever think about just playing games for fun? As a recreational type thing. As a bonding thing between you and your wife, who apparently you both are supposed to be gamers. Oh, you have WWE champions for that. So what do you need this bitch for when you have WWE champions in pocket? Oh, you're right, Phil. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about it that way. I guess your Gordon Ramsay example makes a little bit more sense if we go off that logic. Gotcha.
Big cleaver and say, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to chop you off, you muppet. I'm going to chop your head off, right? You want to separate that. You don't want to do it all. Your entire life is not just about fucking what you do for your work. You know what I'm saying? So, there you go. The answer is no. I don't think about playing co-op gameplay with my wife when I'm out of here. It's the last thing on my mind. I don't want to do that. Okay? There you go. Alright, I have a... There you go. Alright, I have a $1.30 tip. Watching you play Trials of Osiris in Destiny 2 would be the most entertaining content you put out. It would be Street Fighter Assault cranked up to infinity. People would have so much fun watching it. I don't even know what that means. Nor do I give a shit. I played Destiny 2. I found it incredibly boring. We even tried, I think, a raid together. I had a party of guys who we teamed up. We played the whole campaign. We did some of the options.
It was stuff. Brian and Kekken, I think is the name I was thinking of earlier. I think it was Kekken, who is he was playing Apex Legends with. I don't know if they played Destiny together, but they definitely played Apex Legends. Doesn't matter. DSP shit at all those games anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It just wasn't fun. It was kind of like meh, you know. Again, I feel like those games, I hate to say it, but I feel like those kind of games, the Destinies, the Tom Clancy co-op shooter games, they get off being mediocre games, and the only reason that they excel or succeed is because of the social aspect of playing them with someone else. If you weren't playing those games with someone else, they would fail. They would be boring. And if that's the case, then are you really enjoying the game, or are you enjoying the camaraderie of your buddies? In which case, why reward the game?
He clearly don't know what he's talking about because people solo those games. But Phil, that's why they're multiplayer games. They're made that way for a reason. Yeah, they have a single player campaign. You can even solo a lot of that shit, but they're kind of meant to be multiplayer games. It's built around the concept that you're either gonna get into a random lobby with other people online, or you have your friends in there. If you think the game is mediocre, then that's on you. But, I mean, you're a mediocre content creator, so I guess you'd be able to identify that better than I would. But, I mean, but that's what the games are kind of built for. It is what it is. And it's funny because his playthroughs of those games, if he even played them, failed miserably, I'm sure. But other people have built entire channels around it, especially around Destiny. Like, There are people who make class setup videos all for that shit all the goddamn time. And do incredibly well at it, and will continue to do so. There are people who stream raids, and hundreds of people come out to watch it. Just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's funny how everything that he tries fails, so it's automatically mediocre, or it's garbage, or it's trash. But when other people do it and they succeed, he really can't give you a reason why it succeeded. Or with them, anyway. Every game that DSP plays is boring. But it's not always the game's fault. I don't know. Maybe he'd have a better perspective if he was willing to look inward.
Developer for that. Just go hang out with your buddies. I'm just saying. And there's entire franchises based off of this. And I just don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very confused at why people think that these are such tried and true great game franchises. Like, for the longest time, right? For the absolute longest time, I never even played a Tom Clancy, like, what was that one that it was? The Division or whatever? I never played it. And then the Division 2 went free to play for like a weekend, and I played it with a couple viewers, and I was like, it's a passable third-person shooter, right? It's okay. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing groundbreaking. You play it with friends. It's not a big deal. I would easily just go...
Yeah, except for you don't have friends. That's why you had to play it with viewers. So the very social... the very social selling point, right, that he's trying to dispel, or he's trying to play down, he can't even really... He really is not... He doesn't have the grounds to say anything about it, being that he doesn't even have friends. And remember, he's doing this not to have just a good time, chill with his buddies, crack a beer, which is what most multiplayer games are for, or are usually used for, I should say. He's sitting here trying to exploit the people that are around him for content. If he was actually cool, if he actually liked the people that he was playing some of these games with, maybe it'd be a lot more fun, right? Like when when him and John used to do Suicide Kings and shit. The game is debatable, but it was the fact that he had someone that he enjoyed being around. I dare say he was in love with. That's what made the experience. The game is just a catalyst for that. But see, if you don't have any friends, if you don't have anybody around you who you enjoy spending time with, then this shit's going to seem foreign to you. But see, he's not trying to approach it that way. He's just saying the game is bad, the game is garbage, and the only reason why people praise it is because they can play with their buddies. Well, if you want to hang out with your buddies, why don't you just go out to a bar? Why don't you guys go and hang out? Well, why didn't you do that with John and Howard? Oh, that's right, you did. And then you wanted to record everything. And what was your excuse when John and Howard were like, hey man, why can't we just hang out and chill? Why do we need to record everything? Oh, this is my job. This is my job, John. You know what I'm saying? This is how I get my content, guy. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. Remember that? So this is DSP trying to say, oh, well, I've learned. Because I exploited John and Howard, and I saw how that fucked up my friendship. So now that I'm older, I realize the flaws in my thinking, and so I don't do it anymore. It's ironic, though, right, that he doesn't have the friends to go along with that anymore either. As well as the viewership. So the very things that he had around him that he coveted to help him be popular and be profitable, now that those two things aren't there anymore, now it's, oh, well, I don't see the point of doing that anymore. That's a waste of time. And the game is just bad. It's not because I don't have friends anymore. It's not because I have a viewership who care about me anymore. It's because the games are just bad. Just something to think about. That's hilarious when you think about it. And it's such bullshit. It's absolutely such bullshit. Because if he was still in contact with John, and Howie too, by extension, and if they were still cool with each other, maybe they would play online co-op with each other in some of those games. Maybe. Maybe.
My friends. Or go to the arcade and play Street Fighter with my friends. Or go see a movie with my friends. It's all the same. It's just an activity that you do. But I swear that...
Why can't you take your wife to a movie? I mean, I've already seen the picture of you and Catherine at the arcade, but granted, that's when you guys were, like, still dating and shit. You were essentially spending time with another man's horse. That's different. Why don't you and Catherine go out to movies now? It's kind of funny. Or whenever someone recommends a movie to you, oh, what platform is that on? Or what app is that on? Oh, do I got to pay for that? I don't want to pay for that. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just asking a question.
So caught up in these crazy looter shooter games, they think, oh, you have to do Trials of Osiris with your friends and this. No, I don't. No, I really don't. It's like, I don't see the value added there, or why you should reward a game developer just because they made a hangout session for you and your friends. Like, I get it. It's a franchise. It's a genre that people like, but I've never understood it myself.
But you're a liar, though, because didn't you have community nights for Street Fighter? Yet again, exploiting for content. Don't you play? Didn't you say that you enjoy the current Call of Duty? Right? You enjoy that, right? What do you think that is? Aren't you the one who was saying that you wanted to play other people in Street Fighter, like other pro players or other people from your era? That you'd like to get into private lobbies with them, so that you guys could challenge each other. Challenge each other. What about that? You have nothing to say about any of that. So you're prejudiced against this one company, right? It's not even the genre of games, really. He's really just prejudiced against this company. It's like peeling an onion back. You'll eventually figure it out. You're prejudiced against this one company, essentially. But you're contradicting yourself through your actions and given what you enjoy and what you do. Never thought about that, right? Then again, community nights aren't a thing no more, which is ironic, because the competition was getting too steep and you didn't want to get beat up. And what you felt was supposed to be a non-competitive environment, which is kind of retarded because Street Fighter is a competitive game. That's the reason why people have guilds, right? It's a bunch of people who join, and then they kind of compete against each other, leveling each other up, and then they can branch out and go up against better players. The same reason why people party up in Call of Duty or any other game, to be honest with you, that allows co-op. But you're just prejudiced against this one developer, right? And that's where your real problem lies in. At least that's the way I see it.
Maybe for me, that's like the equivalent of saying, well, Street Fighter succeeded only because it's like a hangout session with your friends. No, Street Fighter succeeded because it's an amazing 1v1 experience with tons of skill and variety and all this stuff that factors in. It just so happens if you're friends and you are good at Street Fighter and you hang out and play it, you could have a great time, but that's not the focus of the game. The game's good outside of that realm.
Actually, that's not even true. The reason why Street Fighter was so popular is because of the simplicity of it. If you wanted to look for a game that was deep and technical, you have Soul Calibur, you have Tekken, you have Guilty Gear. Like, there are games out there, Virtual Fighter even to some degree. Well, no, not even to some degree. I mean, it is. There are fighting games out there that are super technical and super deep. And you can really go through a skill tree and really develop the ins and outs of it. I'm not saying Street Fighter isn't complex. It is. It's definitely the thinking man's game because it's so simplistic, which is one of the reasons why DSP loses as often as he does. Because he wants to sit there and shit on people for being pattern players or flowchart players, and that's exactly what he is. He can't think outside of the flowchart. He can't expound upon or expand upon the flowchart. And he's a pattern. He's someone who lives a pattern in his real life, which makes him the perfect candidate for a pattern player. And even when he tries to implement new stuff, he's uncomfortable with anything new, harking back to what I said earlier. And he always has to stick with something familiar. That's why when he does, quote unquote, learn something, he learns something that is brain dead easy, that he really can't forget it. And then he just sticks with it. If he tries to implement anything new into that, he immediately gets all fucked up. He can't do it. So he essentially has to go back to the beginning of the flowchart and then go ahead and navigate and try to add that new thing in or see what someone else has added in and just try to emulate that. Which is really what it comes down to, if you think about it, when he says, oh, I watched this pro player do this, or I watched this pro player do that. But he never went into the lab and actually tested it. He never actually went into the lab and understood why they do what they did when they did it. Instead, he just tries to emulate it and go online and thinks he can get away with it. But that's neither here nor there.
I couldn't tell you that Destiny or The Division or any of these games are good outside of the realm of being a hangout session with your friends. So why do they succeed? It's definitely a unique generational thing, because those games only started existing last console gen, right in the last decade. Those games didn't exist before that. So maybe just as fast as they got popular, maybe they'll fizzle out. You know, we know what happens. Battle Royale came out, and that kind of took up the reins of that. And, you know, it's constant evolution. But I have no desire to play Trials of Osiris. I don't give two shits about Destiny. It's boring. It's not a very good game. Okay.
Actually, something else was brought up too, and I'll bring this up in a future broadcast. But same episode of That Being Said, I think it was Sam who brought it up, where he said that he's been watching DSP's DSP News segment, laughable as that is, and he's like, he never hears DSP go over anything that's positive in news. It's always the negative. Well, not to counter that is true. That's a very true statement. The thing is it's always been that way. DSP has never brought out anything, even before he tried to go ahead and snag that DSP News segment, as he's doing, and his execution on it's poor, by the way. He never was about trying to bring up anything positive as it pertains to gaming news or even just topics, and IRL topics in general. It's always the negative. And because that's how he's wired. He's not wired to think of anything positive or try to be positive or see the positivity in anything. If this guy is supposedly a gamer, right, and supposedly feels that we as gamers deserve better and we should get the most we can for our money and all this, that, and the third, he would really advocate for that. So when he sees those type of stories where Nintendo or Sony or Xbox or an independent developer or whatever does something to give back to gamers or recognize the gaming community, right, and give more, you would think that's something that he would want to not only go over, but would even praise them for, right? Oh, they're finally recognizing us and our value, right? But he never wants to do that. It's always about, they ripped us off of this, they're making this, they're doing that. And he doesn't understand why some of the CEOs of some of these companies, or just anybody who's on the board of directors, would walk away from these big money positions or whatever the case may be. He doesn't understand why they would do that. Oh, you're making a bunch of money, why would you leave that? Because one, they could probably make more money at another company with less stress. That's one thing. Two, most people don't want to be stuck doing the same shit forever. Not everybody's like you, Phil. Not everybody's okay with being a dinosaur and waiting to go extinct. Some people kind of want to evolve, right? Not just themselves as people, but their financial situation. And you can be making great money at one place, but maybe you can make even more money doing less. Or maybe you can get a higher position somewhere else that you couldn't get there. The point being, ladies and gentlemen, is people don't want to settle. And that's all DSP can do, because DSP spent the majority of his life getting fired from damn near every place he's ever been. And that's the reason why he has that mindset. Just something to think about. But that's literally what it comes from. And as it pertains to the negativity that is quote unquote DSP News or DSPN. Fuck that. I'm not gonna grace him with that shit. Given what the contents of DSPN is, it only makes sense that he would only focus on the negative of anything and everything. Because that's all he sees. That's all he wants to see. Which is funny, because I thought DSP says he doesn't like drama content. What the fuck is DSPN then? Is that not drama content? Is that not being a misery broker? Big ups to misery broker, by the way. Is that not what that is? Is that not saying, hey, when someone's having a bad day, you're having a good day? Isn't that all the same thing? I don't know. I'm just a brain dead detractor. What the fuck do I know about anything?
Okay, Kagome, thank you for re-upping your membership. I'm sorry to hear about your sister's pet. hopefully, she feels better. I've lost a lot of weight since 2021. I don't know about.
So wait. We can give big ups and RIP to some dude's sister's pet, but I was never really friendly with Flo anyway, and I wasn't really on good terms with him. And it's a shame that he died the way he did as early as he did. That's a shame. Which is really him just giving a backhanded smack to the fact that Flo was a heavy-setted dude. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it was. So even in death, you're taking jabs at that man. Wow. Anyway, it's not surprising.
I would say, here's the thing. I've gone like this in my life, right? I've gone like this in my life. And when I started on YouTube in 2008, 2009 was one of my heaviest times of my life, okay? Like, I was really, really heavy at that time. Probably like 230, 240 pounds. I mean, we were just watching a video yesterday of me doing viewer mail, and my head was like bloated like this. I had like a triple chin and shit. It was ridiculous. And, excuse me. So then, I did try to change my lifestyle up a little bit and eat way less when I became a full-time YouTuber.
Wait,
and I lost.
Is that another reason why you're wearing the shirt? Is it because you saw how heavy you were in some reaction video the day before? So that's why you decided to go ahead and put this slimming shirt on and whatnot, got the pig titties out and everything. Is that what you did this for? Which would go back to him being self-conscious. And yet again, LTG seeping into his head as well. God damn, Phil, you're too predictable. I'm not saying that you can predict everything, but god damn, you're too predictable.
Wait. And then I gained it and lost it and gained it and lost it. And I can tell you, 2017 was a year that was very tumultuous for me. I was single for the first time in a very long time. And because of that, I was eating incredibly unhealthy. I was rushing out getting fast food every day just to eat fast between streams so I could get back to stream and basically get back to work.
Actually, no, he was doing that because he was lazy. But that's not actually the only reason. So when Panda left him, he basically reverted back to what he was when he was in Connecticut before Panda came into his life back then, too. He ordered out, right? Or he ran out to get food, or he made turkey burgers, essentially. Because I remember there were plenty of pre-streams, because he used to have a pre-stream twice a day, if you guys remember. He'd have one in the morning, and then he would have like a small pre-stream segment, like 20 minutes maybe. Most of the time, it didn't even get uploaded. Like someone like SnortBucks or Mr. Huff Stuff or David Davison would end up clipping that and then putting it up. But he would talk about, I just came off break. I made myself a turkey burger, and I cut myself some fresh lettuce, tomato, some red onions, a little bit of black pepper. I fried it in the pan and everything, and it was delicious, man. But then I had to do the cleanup, man. I had to clean the counter. I had to wash the dishes. I had to do all that. And then by the time I was done with all that, I only had like another half hour to sit down and kind of relax. And then I had to come back up here to stream. And I'm thinking to myself, as a lot of people did, you're telling us it took you 2.5 hours to make a fucking turkey burger and then to clean up after yourself? Are you fucking serious? So then he used that as a justification to run out to Subway or run out to McDonald's or run out to wherever the fuck he was going to get food. But then he looked like shit when he got back because obviously the quality of food that he was taking in all day, every day, essentially. And then the drinking on top of that, which is a whole nother can of worms. And then and I have to find this and whatnot but I distinctly remember him talking about it. The medication that he was trying to use to stave off the hangovers. So most of those times when he was coming on stream sick, wow, when he would appear on stream sick, holy shit, because we've already seen him come on stream. Anyway, when he was appearing on stream and he looked sick or whatever the case may be, it's because he was drunk the better part of the time he was doing it. Like this idiot, he even admitted he would drink himself literally to sleep at night. And if you go back to, if you can find it, I think Mr. Huff Stuff is going to end up uploading those things. when you watch him come on stream, when you see him show up on stream at night, more often than not, he was sloshed. So anyway, it's way more to it than what he's saying, but of course he doesn't expect everybody to remember everything.
Wasn't really cooking. Even when I was cooking, I was having like shitty TV dinners and stuff like that. So in 2017, I gained a lot of weight back. Like I would say in 2017, I probably got upwards of 220, 230 again. I gained a lot of weight again. And it was very unhealthy. I didn't feel good. Like there were some days where legit, I felt really sick. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. And then I can tell you, ever since I met my wife and, you know, we started living together and she started cooking and we started eating way more healthy now and we don't eat fast food, or when we do, it's a rarity. Instead,
now, obviously, you guys know this is all a lie because it's all DoorDash, but he can sit there and say, oh, we don't DoorDash from fast food places. We DoorDash from actual restaurants and all that bullshit. But more importantly than even that, because I'll bring it back. When he talks, is not, I like how he has his little arms crossed and shit. Oh, ain't that cute? He think he's an adult. I really like the fact that he only got healthy when someone else, when another person came into the home and took up that responsibility. Did anybody catch that? Don't worry, I'm going to bring it back for you just in case. But that's where the changes were really made. When someone else popped in and picked up the responsibility. Couldn't do it on our own. 35, I think. He was 35 at the time. Couldn't do that on his own. Couldn't cook his own meals for himself, right? Couldn't do any of that stuff because he's too busy streaming, right? Even though he could make himself eggs or toast with cheese or any of the other suggestions that War Dog Leader made to him at that time. Reasonable. Extremely reasonable. DSP couldn't do any of that. Because if you guys remember to that whole War Dog Leader saga over the span of like 2 days, he sat there and said, oh, well, you know, things have been really hard for me and shit, and I haven't been able to eat well and everything because I don't have people cooking for me anymore. I don't have someone, you know, making stuff for me anymore, dude. It's all on me now. And it's really stressful. It's really stressing me out. The absolute most pathetic thing ever. You know what I'm saying? Ever. But then again, it's the same idiot who was eating ramen with a spoon, right? It's the same idiot who, I think it was a DiGiorno's deep dish pizza or whatever, and he didn't even make that properly, so it's still doughy at the bottom. Anyway, semantics. Like I said, born fuck up.
Unhealthy. I was rushing out getting fast food every day just to eat fast between streams so I could get back to stream and basically get back to work. I wasn't really cooking. Even when I was cooking, I was having like shitty TV dinners and stuff like that. So in 2017, I gained a lot of weight back. Like I would say in 2017, I probably got upwards of 220, 230 again. I gained a lot of weight again. And it was very unhealthy. I didn't feel good. Like there were some days where legit, I felt really sick. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. And then I can tell you, ever since I met my wife and, you know, we started living together and she started cooking and we started eating way more healthy now and we don't eat fast food, or when we do, it's a rarity. Instead, we're cooking every single day. And even when I eat out
cooking
now,
every single day. And it's also funny too, right? That it's really, really hilarious how we gloss over all the drinking that we were doing at that time. Just blasted out of our goddamn mind. On top of the morning streams that he ended up missing. He missed a few of those back in after Panda left his ass. He was late to the night streams. He was late to the morning streams too. So he would either not do a morning stream or he'd be late. Or he wouldn't do a night stream or he'd be late. It's really hilarious. Especially on those days where he had to figure out how to do laundry, or he had a bunch of dishes in the sink and whatever that he had to square up, or if he had to go to, what is it, Curls and Twirls, or wherever the fuck that was, to get his little hair done and shit, and he had to do shopping on his own. You guys remember that? When he used to have to go to Curls and Twirls? It's not called that, but I love calling it that. When he used to go to Curls and Twirls at night and shit, because he wouldn't go during the day, or like how he was doing some of his shopping during the, in the evening too. He wouldn't go during the day. It was hilarious. That shit was weird. And it made me wonder, who was he trying to avoid at that time that would cause him to do that? Why couldn't he just get up early and go shopping? He can do it now that Catherine's there. But when Panda left his ass, he couldn't do it? Makes you wonder.
You know, when we do, I'm usually trying to get stuff that's more on the healthier side. You know, we eat poke bowls. You know, which is a bunch of freaking, it's basically deconstructed like sushi and stuff like that. That's what we're eating when we eat out. You know, we're not eating grease and cheese and fried shit, which is great, obviously. So basically, I have fluctuated, but I would say the last 3-4 years, since Kat is now, you know, cooking all the time, cooking way healthier meals, and we're not really eating out bad food stuff anymore, and I'm not doing fast food, I've lost a lot of weight. You know, like I said, on average, I teeter between like as high as maybe like 205, 208 pounds, but I've been all the way down to like 195. It all
That's
depends,
not true.
you know, how I'm eating.
Because during the LTG shit, and even before that, he told us that he's basically fluctuates between about 215, 220. I'd say he fluctuates between like 210 and like 220. He's probably right around there. And that's just given off of what he says, to be honest with you. So now we're going ahead and talking about getting the 295. You've never been anywhere close to 295. Let's be honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? He's fluctuating between about 210, 215, and probably like 220, 225. Maybe 225. And that's, even then, that's pushing that. Because there's nothing to him. He's like this skinny fat and whatnot. And like his arms ain't shit. Like, dude, your arms are nothing. Which probably explains why he has a hard time lifting crap, which is the reason why we need our hand cart. And because you don't do any type of exercises whatsoever, it understands why his back hurt. My back hurt. So it understands why that situation is a thing, even though I thought the Seattle Air went ahead and activated his latent mutant ability and shit. He was able to basically sprout out and grow new baby back ribs around himself and shit to reinforce himself. I guess that's not a thing anymore. Like, the dude's just unhealthy as shit. And he's useless. Like, if he got hit, he's gonna crumble fast. To be honest. So the fact that the health, like, the health saga hasn't popped up yet, I won't say I'm not completely surprised, but it's clearly coming. It's clearly gonna be a thing, because he's clearly not doing well. Certainly. And yet again, going back to what I said earlier, how is it that he, quote unquote, has been fluctuating with all this weight, but Catherine just puts all this weight on? And you're not doing anything to help her lose it. You know, together, as a couple. How is that a thing? Womp womp.
Eating and what's going on and stuff like that. So I got that little fluctuation there that kind of jumps between the 200-pound mark. But yeah, no, I have lost a lot of weight in the last few years because of my changes of lifestyle, which is great. You know, the lighter you are, the less health problems you have. You know, I used to have problems with my knees. I used to have problems with my joints and other things. You know, and now I don't, which is great. I wake up in the morning and I feel energetic and refreshed and ready for the day, as opposed to I used to wake up and feel like a slug. I'd wake up and be like, oh God, I have like no energy, and I'd get out of bed and try to get moving and shit. And
you feel energetic and refreshed to play video games, but you can't wake up and take a 30-minute walk around your gated community? You can't do any of that. Great screenshot, by the way. Like, you really can't do that. That's not a thing, right? That's not a thing that exists. Oh, I don't have time to go out walking, dude, or I don't have time to take a jog, or whatever the case may be. I just don't have time for it, man. So you want to systematically try to starve yourself, basically, is what he's saying. Because it's really weird, too. Because if you think about it, Den has to be on the table by, like, 4 o'clock, or whatever the fuck it is, right? But then he has told us that when Catherine gets home, and she usually shows up about 10 or 11, they snack, or they'll have like a sandwich, or they'll have takeout around that time too. So then what's the point of you eating dinner that early if you're planning on eating something that's equally heavy, or maybe even slightly less heavy later? What sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? What literal sense does that make? And you guys already know what I'm saying is true, because he basically admitted only a few months ago that they were sitting there ordering DoorDash from McDonald's, and the McDonald's is like 5 minutes away. Maybe 10 minutes. It might have been 5 minutes away. And they could have actually just drove in to go and get it, but he didn't want to, because it was 11 o'clock or whatever, and they just wanted to sit at home and relax. And then he got mad because it took the DoorDash so long to get to them. And then justified the cost that went into that as well. That seems weird. So which one is it? Holy shit. It's so good. It's so good.
I feel like motivated and energized to do stuff all day, which is nice. So, there you go. Phil's... There you go. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about this morning? No, I mean it. Witcher just said something. He says, wings must feel that way all day. You have to understand, as someone who used to be heavier, no shit and no exaggeration, when you're heavy, you feel awful. I mean it. Like, you don't want to get out of bed, because the moment you get out of bed, your legs hurt. You got, pain and strain in all your joints, all your muscles. You struggle to breathe sometimes. It's like, what the fuck? Why am I struggling to breathe? All of a sudden, you start moving, and you get a high blood pressure. Your heart's going, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. You're just doing normal shit. Why is my heart going like that? You're like, what is going on? Then you try to calm down, and sometimes you can't calm your body down because your body had to work so hard just to move around, and you're trying to, like, lay down and relax, and you can't relax because your body won't relax. It's all fucking over adrenaline, and your fucking heart, ba-doom, ba-doom. It's not supposed to be like that, You're not supposed to overexert just from walking around. I told you guys the story when I used to...
Now, just in case you guys don't know, that little silly-ass segment he talked about there, at least some of it, about the whole having your adrenaline up and everything, that comes back from, it was after Panda left, and he was doing all this, it was like the middle of the night, and he was laying in bed, and he couldn't go to sleep, so he started doing housework, and he was exerting himself, and he was getting his adrenaline going. That's really all that really harks about. I have to bring this up because it makes me wonder. I might need to just jump on Twitter too to see if this was brought up at all. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is from October 16th. I think Flo passed away on the 17th. I'm wondering if this idiot here caught wind of Flo being sick leading up to him passing. And this right here also is a weird type of stab at Flo there too. Now that's a reach. That's a big reach actually. So literally take that with a fucking grain of salt. But it is really interesting that he watches a stream the day before. He saw how heavy he is. Now he wants to go ahead and put this little see-through blouse bullshit on, have the pig titties out, right? And then he want to talk about people that are, like, extremely overweight. And he had this little weight segment thing for, like, 2 days. For 2 straight days he talked about this thing with weight. Because he talked about it a little bit during the first Sonic stream, too. We'll go over that. So it makes me wonder if this piece of shit caught wind of that. And I can't put that past him. I really can't. But see, Flo hadn't passed away yet, though. But even still, if Flo was sick, you know what I'm saying? I'm wondering if this is what... See, I might be reading into that. Disregard that. But I'm going to keep that in my noodle for a minute. Because he's just enough of a resentful piece of shit that he would do something like that. I'm going to think about that.
Office job. There was a couple days I would just be getting out of my car. All right, now this is when I was at my heaviest, probably like 240, right? I'm just getting out of my car. I open the door, I put my left leg down on the pavement, and as I put weight on my left leg and I start to stand up, all of a sudden, ripping, shooting pain up into my knee, and I sit down. Oh my God. What the fuck did happen? And now I gotta work. I'm at work. I gotta work all day. I can't even walk. I'm limping into work, tears streaming down my face because I just fucking threw out my knee because I'm a fat ass.
You're 5'12". I always find this to be amusing. You're 5'12", allegedly. I think he's actually probably more like 5'10". He might be 5'11", but I feel like he's like 5'10". You're 5'12". You're 240 pounds, and you blew out your knee stepping out of your car. You had to have been far heavier than 240. Sorry. And then that shows what kind of out of shape piece of garbage you were then too. you're really not helping your case. And then you're gonna bitch and complain about allegedly blowing your knee out, which if you blew your knee out, you're not walking anywhere. You had to limp your ass into work to sit down on your fucking fat ass, according to your words, to do what? Customer service? Bitch, put an ice pack on that shit and get to work. Pick up that phone.
What kind of a way to live is that? It's awful. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, man. To people who live like that, that's fucking terrible, dude.
But that doesn't really matter, because if you think about it, he said that when he started YouTube, he was still about 230 till 240. So he didn't. So even when, quote unquote, our situation where we blew our knee out, right? But yet we still had the fortitude to go ahead and limp our fucking ass into work, he still didn't find any need to have to lose weight at that point. He still was packing the weight on. By what he said and what he's saying. Imagine that. Imagine that.
That was my worst part of my life, where I felt awful, I looked awful, I couldn't, like, it was barely living, you know? So I never would want to go back to that. Never, ever, ever would I want to fucking go back to that.
And then, because I'm an asshole, right? He's like, I was barely living. Even though he had John, he had Howard, he had OJ, he had all these guys around him. They were going on trips and doing all that shit. He's quote-unquote less weight now. He's fluctuating between 195 and 198 and like 207 or whatever bullshit he came up with. And he's doing less. He weighs less and he's doing less. Whereas when he was heavier, he was doing more with his life. He was at least going out traveling and shit. That's wild. He's literally regressed. He literally regressed. That's fantastic. It really is. It's fantastic.
All right. Anything else you guys want to chat about today? Any other topics for discussion, or shall we take a brief break and then roll into our stream here? No, it's a combination of many factors. Sith Alchemist says just stop eating unhealthy food. It's not that simple. It's lifestyle choices. Like, for example, it's eating right and eating at the right times and not snacking. That's another thing that people don't understand. Like, snacking is
And
terrible.
here's the thing. Didn't hear anything about exercise at all. Wings says this shit too, when especially leading up to the boxing match, where people were like, hey, you should do more of this. Hey, you should do more of that. Hey, you should do more of this. Oh, well, I'm just going to just eat a little less. Which he didn't eat less. He was actually eating more. But semantics. This motherfucker, yet again, doesn't talk about physical exercise whatsoever. It's just, oh, it's about how much I eat and when do I eat. But we already talked about this nonsense of him eating around, probably eating between like 4:30 and 5. Right? As soon as he gets off stream, that's when he's eating dinner. And then he's still eating later on in the evening. And then he's staying up drinking too. And by the time he wakes up at like 10 o'clock, 10:15, he's done nothing. He hasn't burnt anything. I mean, hell, most nights or most mornings he's still drunk. So tell me what your lifestyle choices are.
For you. If you're going to snack, you have to be snacking healthy. You can't be snacking on terrible shit all day. That's exactly the wrong thing to do. And when I say snacking, I don't just mean, oh, I grabbed a handful of fucking Doritos or Pringles. I mean drinking. Like coffee with sugar and cream, soda with tons of sugar. All that shit is considered snacking. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it like that. It is. There's too many people in America.
I mean, let's talk about your little carbonated fucking seltzer water and shit. When's the last time you actually drank some real water, Phil? Like actual filtered water. When's the last time you've done that? He doesn't even drink bottled water anymore. When's the last time he actually had a glass or a bottle of actual fucking water? And you could say, oh, he drinks it out of his little sippy cup that he fills up with piss water in his fucking bathroom. That's okay. That might be a fair point. That might be a fair point. Now let's go ahead and talk about his eating habits a little bit. According to Phil, he's going to tell us in a little bit, but according to Phil, he wakes up, has a coffee or two, and then goes upstairs and starts to stream. Gets off stream, has din, and then fucking sits around for like 3 fucking hours, and then goes back and finishes streaming, and then him and Kat may have another snack or something before he goes to bed. If you look at it from that standpoint, it sounds like systematic starvation. He's not snacking on anything throughout the day. But then there's a caveat to that, ain't there? There are those mornings where he warms up and have a breakfast burrito. We all remember that. That's when Jasper had the UTI situation. It was basically pissing and shitting anywhere he could. So we have a breakfast burrito sometimes. Sometimes we have a bagel. Right? Sometimes they order from multiple places from DoorDash in one shot. So what the fuck is he really talking about? If you really want to go down that rabbit hole. You eating less is a good thing. There's no point in you overeating yourself, right? Or gorging yourself, if you will. You still need to exercise though. You still need to move. You still need to do something. You coming up and down your stairs, or walking up and down your stairs, I should say, isn't really exercise. We all know this. That's why when he got clowned for it, he stopped talking about it. That's why he used to talk about his sedentary lifestyle and shit. Oh, I walk up and down the stairs a couple times, you know what I'm saying, just to get the blood flowing. Because if I can't do a 24-hour stream like those other people. It's unhealthy, and I'm going to get sick, and I could die on stream. When truth be told, he's probably going to end up having a brain aneurysm and dying on stream anyway. I'm not wishing for that, so God forbid, but let's be realistic about the situation. If he doesn't end up having having a heart attack or another stroke, which is just a theory. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's doing himself really any favors. If you're not doing anything to get your heart rate up, and you're not actually burning any real calories or anything, you're a ticking time bomb. Wings already knows what that's like, because he damn near where he was right before he asked for the surgery. And yet again, I'm really wondering why this weight thing has really become a thing. Like I said, the reaction stream they did the day before, fair enough. But I'm wondering, I would have to really go deep into the timeline though and look, was there talk of Flo being sick on Twitter prior to his death? And I wouldn't think so. Because if I remember correctly, Justin Wong said that him and other people were around Flo when he passed. And I don't see Justin or any of them wanting to speak up on that. You know, you don't want to put your friend's business out there like that, is what I mean. So I'm really wondering where this really stems from. That's all I'm saying. I'm really wondering where this is all stemming from.
Particular. I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in the United States, we have like 100% snacking culture where all you do all day is you constantly drink, eat. Especially the worst part is, I'm bored. I need a snack. No, you don't. You don't need a snack because you're bored. You need something to do with your time that occupies you so you're not thinking about shoving something down your throat constantly. I don't keep stuff in the house that tempts me, because I don't keep stuff in the house that I'm going to snack on. I don't snack. I have no soda in my house whatsoever right now. None. Zero. Not a single can of soda exists in this household. There's no reason for it to. Right? Why would I have soda here? You know?
That is probably not true, because I would assume Cat drinks soda. But hasn't Phil told us that he keeps cookies and candy and all kinds of other stuff in the house every once in a while? And then we all remember that giant bottle, or that giant Total Wine haul of liquor that he ain't picked up that one time. You know, it had all the you know, they make all those mixed drinks and all that bullshit right there. You don't know what you're not packing in with that? On top of all of the DoorDash and everything that you get? He's right. We do very much live in a fast food snacking type of culture. But you can't apply that to everybody. And to say that you're not tempted by these different snacks or whatever because you don't have in the house is blatantly not true, because you've told us that you guys have snacks at the house. You may not, well, you say that you don't participate in it, but damn sure you have it there. Just because you're not consuming it doesn't mean someone isn't. Oh, so much bullshit.
The snacks that I have are healthier snacks. If I have a snacks, it's not a greasy potato chip. It's like popcorners, which is popcorn formed into a chip. Sure, it's not good for you, but it's certainly not as awful as a fried piece of food, right? That's the kind of stuff I do, you know?
How about you just... Wait a second. First off, it is just as bad, kind of, sort of. Because, you know, instead of you doing that, why don't you just have a fresh piece of fruit, Phil? If you want a snack, why don't you make yourself a salad? You know, with all the fresh fruits and vegetables that you buy every goddamn week that gets thrown out at the end of the week. How about that? The fuck are you lying to on this bullshit? Like, he really thinks people don't pay attention. Holy fuck. Like, how are you gonna sit there and do that shit? So this goes back to proving my point. Either he buys that stuff out of just habit, and it's just habit to throw it away, or throw it down the garbage disposal, which is probably where it's really going. Or there's something wrong with that refrigerator. It could be both, for all we know. But this idiot wants to sit there and say, oh, well, I don't have a greasy Dorito. I have this other snack that's still not very good for me. It's just less bad than this. When he has other options, and they could be doing that. And yet again, he's not explaining why Catherine gained all that weight. Womp womp.
That we have at dinner, baked chicken, right? With a breading that we bake in the oven. Not fried chicken. Not greasy cheese chicken. Baked chicken.
So that's what? Baked chicken is good, but grilled chicken is probably better. Oh, womp womp.
A soup that's a chicken sausage with chunks of tomato and beans and things like that. That's what you have in the house. And when you have that stuff, if that's all you have, all right, then that's what you eat. Too many people, I had to say it in the United
States. But that's blatantly a lie. Because if that was true, that you only ate what was in the house, then you would have far less waste than you actually do. And then, do you forget all the times that you keep telling us that you DoorDash stuff? So clearly you're not eating what's just in the house. There are plenty of times where he was like, oh, well, you know, me and Catherine had a long day or whatever the case may be, or I just got off stream and I didn't feel like cooking anything. She didn't feel like cooking anything. We'll just order out. Like, blatantly just contradicting ourselves. I'd like to tell you that I'm stunned, but I'm not.
Right? Why are so many people in the United States overweight? Because everyone enables everyone else to just do it. If you didn't have that awful stuff around you, you wouldn't need it. Because when you're hungry, you're gonna fucking eat.
No. You want to talk about enabling. Like I said, you explain to me why Catherine put all that weight on. 2, the reason why it's not about enabling per se. It's really more the fact that it's about choice. America was built on that. It's built on the concept of choice. That's legitimately what it came down to. Like I said, that goes back to the thing with like Becky and Amber, right? For example, everybody calls Becky an enabler, and she theoretically is an enabler, but she didn't have a choice either, because once Amber convinced her to quit her job and be completely and utterly financially codependent on her, unless she was strong enough to leave and go back to her family, which is probably what she should have done, she was pretty much at Amber's whim. Because Amber will sit there and nag you for hours on end until she gets what she wants. Chantel does the exact same shit. She'll literally give you a bitch fit for hours on end until she gets what she wants. And even then, she'll still be a bitch about it. Because she is a bitch. You know what I mean? But truth be told, can you really blame the people that were around Amber and Chantel, for example, for their weight gain? No, they chose to do that. They chose to eat themselves to oblivion. They chose to eat themselves out of being able to have children. They chose to eat themselves into damn near being immobile. They chose to do that. You could say it's enabling by the people continuing to let themselves do it, but they made the choice to do that. So that's not necessarily fair to say it's all about enabling. I don't think that's necessarily true. You would think, oh, well, no one chooses to be fat. Yeah, I'm sure no one does choose to be fat, but no one chooses to be addicted to a drug either. Right? No one chooses to be an alcoholic, right? No one thinks any of that stuff will ever happen. Hence the reason why I say no one chooses to do that. But then it happens. That might be a little iffy, maybe. But yet again, it goes back to a choice. They chose to pack on weight and keep packing on weight. Phil chooses to sit there and play WWE Champions till he go broke. He knows that it's wrong. He knows it's not helping him. It's not helping him socially. It's not helping his family, because they could have nicer things in the house that could be useful. They could fix a lot of the problems that they have in their house, instead of having broken bathrooms, broken fucking showers, and all this silly shit. He chose to do it this way. He chose for this to happen. That's what I mean.
Then that's what you eat. Too many people, I hate to say it, in the United States are enablers, right? Why are so many people in the United States overweight? Because everyone enables everyone else to just do it. If you didn't have that awful stuff around you, you wouldn't need it. Because when you're hungry, you're going to fucking eat. If you're starving and the only thing in your house is broccoli, you're going to eat the fucking broccoli. But that's the problem. People just put the bad shit in the house and then they eat it.
Literally contradicting himself because of what, ladies and gentlemen? Because of DoorDash. Because of Grubhub. Because of the options and choices that are made available. Ladies and gentlemen, most of you who are listening to me now, when you get up and you go to work, you drive past different coffee houses, coffee shops, fast food places. Do you partake in all of that? No. You want to know why? Because you chose not to. You could just as easily hit a Panera Bread or hit your local deli or whatever the case may be before work. Get yourself something for breakfast or something for lunch. You could have chose to do that. Or you could choose to go ahead and just pack your lunch. You chose to do that. You had options, and you chose to do something. This idiot sitting here trying to tell you, oh, people only do, if people didn't have these bad things around them, they wouldn't do it. What about the people that every day choose not to do it? What about that? And on top of that, going back to what I said about DoorDash and Grubhub and everything, you and Catherine have the choice to cook meals. You say you guys do cook all these meals, but we know that's a lie. You have a choice to cook all these meals because you're always crying and complaining about how you need money before you go ahead and leave the house on your day off to go ahead and get all these supplies and groceries and everything. And yet, it's funny how you go out and you do all the shopping and then you come home and then, oh, well, we have to order out a meal. We have to do it. It's my one day off, dude. I have to do that. Why do you have to do that? You said that Catherine is the one that does all the cooking and cleaning anyway, right? So why can't she cook on that one day off? Which isn't her one day off, it's just your supposedly one day off together. Why can't she cook something? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and step that up a little bit. Why can't you guys cook together? Why can't you guys make a meal with each other? Why do you always have to order something out? You chose to do that, right? Just like how you keep crying about, oh, there's this place around the block that we really like, but they're not open anymore, and now we're just stuck, dude. Or there's this sushi place we really enjoyed, but we can't go now because they're closed down. That sucks, dude. So what do? Do you decide to make sushi at home? Do you decide to make something else? Or do you just choose another place to order from? Make that make sense.
First, don't put the bad shit in the house then. But they do. They load the house with the most low calorie value, high fat, high cholesterol, high sugar, all bullshit stuff with no vitamins, no minerals, all empty calorie bullshit. And then they sit there stuffing it down their gullets, drinking soda and coffee and juices full of sugar and shit. It's just awful. Yoo-hoo and fucking, yeah, Yoo-hoo. Why the fuck does Yoo-hoo exist? It's chocolate milk with no nutritional value. You might as well just eat fucking spoonfuls of sugar out of the container whole. Why would you ever drink that shit? You know? It's disgusting. And that's what I mean. This is culture. This is an entire culture in the United States. This is how we live. Every moment of my life, if I'm bored, I drink or eat. Drink or eat. That's how you get sick. Really. You know? Just think about how I used to gorge myself. I would wake up in the morning.
And keep in mind, this is coming from the same tard who has fucking gout. Who has fucking gout. outside of what I read in the history books, I've never met or known anybody to have gout. Ever. Before Darkseid fell. I've never. It was something that I heard that Europeans, that like the European royalty had because they fucking indulged themselves back in the day with all that rich food and whatever. And they, like, every night they had these fucking crazy banquets and shit and feasts and all that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? That's the first time I ever heard of that shit. I'd never heard of an actual person that actually had that. Like, what the fuck? So he's gonna sit there and fucking preach to you, and like I said, not say that he's not making some decent points, but like he's gonna sit there and preach this shit. This motherfucker got gout. So let's be honest with each other for a minute. He didn't change his lifestyle because, oh, well, I want to be healthier and I want to be better and this, that, and the third. He did it because he had no choice. He doesn't have the option of having a delicious burger like the rest of us. He doesn't have the option of having a fantastic fucking steak like the rest of us. He doesn't have the option of having these things once in a while, because if he does, which he still does, he's going to sit there and have flare-ups, and he's going to be hurting and crying like a little bitch. Because the moment he left his house and he got into some money, he didn't know how to act. And he fucked himself up. And then what was his excuse? Oh, it was his aunt's fault. It was her fault that he got gout because she got it and didn't tell anybody. Well, then, truth be told, that means all of your family is susceptible to that shit. But he didn't change his lifestyle out of choice. He did it out of necessity. He did it because he didn't have a choice. He did what he wanted because no one could tell him nothing. And then he got smacked down for it later on. And now he's stuck. Because, truth be told, he still eats some of that fucked up shit every once in a while. Like when Catherine makes those sliders for like the 4th of July and shit like that. And then he has all those flare-ups and he's hurting and shit for a day or two on end. Or he's irritated. So don't fall for this bullshit. Like he just somehow came to the realization that, oh, I need to be better if I want to hang around for a long time. Ever since this idiot turned 40, he basically talking like he ready to die. Like life is completely over for him, and like there's nothing really else for him to do. It's sad and pathetic. It's amusing, because I've never heard anybody at 40 think that their life is over. But whatever. I guess that's something that happens in the Burnell household.
First thing I would do is eat something greasy. I would toss one of those microwave greasy sandwiches, greasy sausage or bacon, into the microwave, and I would wolf it down. Then at lunch, all day, first of all, I'd have coffee or tea with milk and cream and sugar in it all day long, 2 or 3 before breakfast and lunch. At lunch, I'd have a ginormous sandwich loaded with cheese and condiments and meat and a side of chips. That was my lunch. Then I would have more coffee and tea till dinner. Then dinner. Here we go. Fast food. Let's go to the fast food place. Let's wolf down a burger. Let's wolf down a chicken sandwich, right? Let's go home and let's fry ourselves up some food in a pan full of grease, right? Or a TV dinner. Oh yeah, that's real healthy for you, right? The worst things. And and then at night, what do? Well, I hate myself because I'm fat and I'm ugly and I'm depressed. So time to drink. So now let's pop open that bottle of rum and Coke and let's just droop, 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 droop all night. Gee, I wonder why I'm miserable, depressed, and fat. That was my life.
That's a great screenshot. You sound like that right now. Let's bring back that part where he said he hates himself. Let's do that. Because remember what I said, America is about choices. It's about choices. Because if you have options, which America is all about giving you options, then it's about choices. Let's hear him talk more about how he hates himself. I need this.
Tea till dinner. Then dinner. Here we go. Fast food. Let's go to the fast food place. Let's wolf down a burger. Let's wolf down a chicken sandwich, right? Let's go home and let's fry ourselves up some food in a pan full of grease, right? Or a TV dinner. Oh yeah, that's real healthy for you, right? The worst things. And and then at night, what do? Well, I hate myself because I'm fat and I'm ugly and I'm depressed. So time to drink. So now let's pop open that bottle of rum and Coke and let's just droop, 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 droop all night. Gee, I wonder why I'm miserable, depressed, and fat. That was my life. That was my life for many, many years. That was when I was absolutely at my worst. And that was, thank God I'm out of that lifestyle. But how many people in America live that lifestyle? Probably a ton. Why do you think we have an obesity epidemic in the United States? That's exactly why, right? Where's your motivation to do anything better in your life when that's your life, right? And again,
Where's his motivation to do anything better than life? Or do anything better in life? I want you to think about that. Think about what he just said. If that's how you're living, where's your motivation to do anything better? Explain to me when and how and what's his motivation to do anything better. He's not struggling with his weight, apparently, like Wings is. So why is his shit all fucked up? Why can't he leave his house more than one day a week? Why can't he walk around his safe, gated community and shit for 30 minutes to an hour each and every day? Whether in the morning, early, or at night, before they go to bed. Well, take a shower and then go to bed, but he don't shower only but like one day a week or 2 days a week anyway, so it is what it is. Filth is still filth, no matter what. What's holding him back? He can sit here and try to put all of his frustration and anger and all this bullshit on food, but where's the physical activities that come into all that? He did everything but tell you, hey, you have to go out there and you have to exercise. You have to get active. If you want to have a nice, long, fulfilling life, you got to be active. And it all starts with just a small... It's always the smallest step is the hardest step. Because you know what's harder than finishing something? It's starting something.
Thank God I'm out of that lifestyle. But how many people in America live that lifestyle? Probably a ton. Why do you think we have an obesity epidemic in the United States? That's exactly why, right? Where's your motivation to do anything better in your life when that's your life, right? And again, too many enablers. Because how many people in the same house as you are enabling you to be like that or like that themselves? And so now you're all living that same awful lifestyle, right?
Yet again, Catherine and all that weight she put on, who enabled her to go ahead and be like that? She wasn't heavy set like that when she got there. She wasn't heavy like that when she got there. So what happened? Who enabled her to go ahead and put all that weight on? Who was the one who told her, hey, I don't want you going to the gym anymore. You can't renew your gym membership. Who's the one who was supposed to put an exercise bike together that was kind of already put together, plus a couple of bells and whistles and whatnot, and somehow botched that and then sent it back and then took that money, which was supposed to go to her because it was like either a birthday gift or a Christmas gift, and then turned around and spent it on bills? Who did that? Who enabled that situation to happen? I'm just asking.
Oh, excuse me. By the way, it's like I've said, because a lot of people in the last few months have said, gee, Phil, it's weird because last year you were talking a lot about your lifestyle and if you were working out or doing power walks or whatever, and you haven't even mentioned it at all this year. You're right. Want to know why? Because shitheads and stalkers out there have tried to turn this into some kind of a negative. All right, my health.
That's
my
not true.
lifestyle.
The reason why he don't talk about it because he never did it. He never did it. He never engaged in it once. It was just like that whole. God damn it! What was that? It was $200 for him to do what 20 to 25 push-ups on screen, or on stream, I should say. And then he sat there and stepped way from the camera and far enough from the mic where you could just hear him, and then acted like he was doing push-ups, counting off like he was somehow exerting himself, and then got mad because he didn't pay up, because he proved nothing. He showed no proof of anything. And if you can bang out 20 to 25 push-ups that fast, then it's not going to hurt you to go ahead and do it again and reposition the camera, will it? That's not going to hurt you to do that, is it? Never got it, though. We just bitched and complained about people being dishonest and making promises and didn't live up to it.
Is no one's business but mine and my family's. All right, I thought last year I would share a little bit with you guys about how I was trying to keep healthy. I thought it was a good idea. And of course, they turned it into a negative. So now I just don't talk about it anymore. And I told you this months ago. I'm going to keep that stuff private. That way they can't try to be intrusive to my life and try to make fun or be stupid and make up, conspiracy theories about it. So, yeah. Am I still working out every once in a while? Yeah, I'm doing my best to keep healthy. I am. But I'm not
I'm doing my best to keep healthy every once in a while? What the fuck is every once in a while? What do you mean I'm doing my best to keep healthy? If you're out there being physically active, you are doing something to keep yourself healthy. Not trying, you're doing. It's all in the language. And then we go back to the insecurity again with him running his fucking hooves through his hair and shit. Because he knows he's full of shit. He knows he's bullshitting. Right? And then we have to go ahead to our little coping mechanism. Let's see it again.
It was a good idea. And of course, they turned it into a negative. So now I just don't talk about it anymore. And I told you this months ago. I'm going to keep that stuff private. That way they can't try to be intrusive to my life and try to make fun or be stupid and make up, conspiracy theories about it. So, yeah. Am I still working out every once in a while? Yeah, I'm doing my best to keep healthy. I am. But I'm not going to talk about it on my streams because it's no one's business but mine and my family's. Okay? All right, any last that stuff private. That way they can't try to be intrusive to my life and try to make fun or be stupid and make up, conspiracy theories about it. So, yeah. Am I still working out every once in a while? Yeah, I'm doing my best to keep healthy. I am. But I'm not going to talk about it on my streams because it's no one's business but mine and my family's. Okay? All right, any last minute stuff, guys? Or shall we wrap it up? The chat's fucked up. It's fucked up. Work. I guess I gotta reload it.
Absolute fucking caveman. Now, with that being said, you're going to see these segments where it looks like I'm rewinding. I'll usually tell you when I'm going to bring something back. But I left that stuff there on purpose because I want you to see exactly how much dead air that goes on. And I also want you to pay attention to, for you guys who are actually watching this, because I know a lot of people just play this in the background. And wisely so. He has these little quirks and these little twitches he does with his face and shit when no one's talking to him or no one's talking to him about something that he wants to talk about. And it's interesting to see how he's coping with it and how he's dealing with it. And I gotta also say too, as someone who streams, not as often as him, but as someone who streams, I don't ever have a problem with my chat like that. Like, he always talks about, like, oh, the chat froze up or the chat. I've never had my chat freeze up and whatnot. And certainly the first thing that should happen if you feel anything or see anything weird in your chat is just hit the refresh button. You would think that'd be an easy thing to do. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't do this for a living, so, what do I know?
Okay, I just reloaded the chat. Hopefully it works now. It was like freezing, and I couldn't click around. It was like fucked up. It's working now. Yeah, comment frenzy. It's just sad. Like you would think. Just think about how silly that is. So Phil's just talking about doing some power walking in his neighborhood, some jogging in his neighborhood, or whatever. Right? That's not a big deal. But then what does it become? Well, how often do you do it? How much do you do it? How long do you do it for? Or do you measure how fast you go? How many miles do you run? How many calories do you burn? How do you do this? Because that's what it is. Every piece of my life is a weird obsession for certain people. So they literally want to know every aspect of my life, up, down, left, and right. Why? Because they want to criticize it. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing. They will then find a way to say that I'm doing it wrong. Right?
Now, I want you guys to really pay attention to the mental gymnastics you're about to get. I'm not going to do something, or I'm not going to talk about something because I'm going to get criticized for it. Phil, most of the people that are probably, since everybody calls you Phil, right? Because if someone is, for example, that's probably in his chat, it's probably not even a detractor, troll, hater, or critic. It's probably just literally someone in his chat. Is like, well, how often do you walk? You know what I'm saying? You know, like, or like, how long do you walk? Or what's the distance that you go, or whatever. You know, Phil, you could easily go on Amazon and get yourself a step counter. Shouldn't be hard for you to tell how long you walk and whatnot. And if you take a couple of laps around your neighborhood, who gives a shit? This is basic shit. The fact that you're not willing to, not even divulge, the fact that you're not willing to speak on it gives people a reason to want to pry into it. But more importantly than that, it's more than likely you're just not doing it. And the proof is kind of in the pudding. If DSP legitimately was actually physically active, you guys would be able to tell. He's on camera every day. There are subtle changes that happen when you make positive changes like that. DSP, none of that stuff is reflected on Darkside Phil in one way, shape, or form. And he knows it. That's why he don't want to speak on it. On top of the fact that he has this mental fucking hang-up about being criticized, which is the weirdest thing if your dumbass is going to actually come online and do shit for a living. Your fucking life is having your face online. Why would you not think someone would have some type of criticism or some opinion, really, have some type of opinion of it? And you wonder why, or people wonder why, he can't function in society. There's a reason why he boxed his ass in the way he did. He's not built to be around normal people. He doesn't even know what normal is. He's so used to being in control, and if you say something that even remotely doesn't sound right, he can just get you up and off the senses, that when he has to go into another environment, he has to essentially try to accommodate the person whose environment that he's in while still struggling with the idea that he's not in control, which just makes him come across like he's weird or he's stunted, which theoretically he's both. To be honest, I'm not going to say theoretically. He is both. And that's why you got detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. Sometimes you got some of them out here trying to humanize him in some type of way, shape, or form or whatever, and that shit falls flat literally in the next second. It's a fool's errand. Why make excuses for someone who already has a bunch of excuses himself? And we already live in a day and age where we want to basically pat everybody on the head for the littlest thing or give each other participation trophies or whatever the fuck. He doesn't need any more of those. He needs to be held accountable. But having an opinion of him or a criticism of him is the thing that he fears more than anybody really even coming to his doorstep. And he's always exhibited this. If that's not mental illness, I don't know what is. That's not a behavioral thing. That's just mental illness. He legitimately can't get over the fact that someone says, you did that wrong, you need to do that again. Or, you did that wrong, you should do it this way. That's a criticism. That's something that you should be able to take in stride. No one's perfect. But if you run around this bitch claiming to be perfect, then guess what? You're gonna run into some shit. And he's constantly running into shit. And the truth is, he never did it. It made him sound good. It made him sound big. Or it made him feel special talking about it. But he certainly never did it. Just like any of the other suggestions that were given to him pre-suggestion box. That he also never did. And someone had to remind him of it, weeks later. That's what it comes down to. He never, ever had any intention of doing any of that. It's easier for this nut to essentially starve himself out instead of actually being active. And truth be told, to reflect that, look at someone like King Cobra. When King Cobra, years ago, because you can find it like a bite-sized Cobra or whatever. When that dude used to work out, he was like dead set into that shit. Now, he doesn't see a need to do it because he knows he's not going to attract he's not going to be able to attract anybody anymore. And truth be told, Cobra lives for the trolls. It's the only thing he cares about now. More so than his fans. He only gives a shit about the trolls. One-upping them, and truth be told, getting their approval. Just like Darkside Phil. Phil lives for his trolls. His detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. He lives for them. And he'll do anything that he can to either one-up them or to get their approval. And it's all really just a manipulation of human nature. He knows that they're decent people over here. Not me. But he knows that they're decent people over here. And that's what he strives for. But the moment they turn around and point and laugh because he did or said something stupid, which isn't hard and it happens a lot, then he gets all weird about it. And then he shuts down. That's the reason why he's at where he's at now. Trust me, you don't need to do DSP. No one needs to be doing DSP any favors. He's fucking himself up just fine on his own. You guys know what the slogan is over here. You give DSP enough rope and he'll hang himself. He's been doing it for a very long time. He just happens to keep slipping out of the noose. But he'll always find his way back into it. You don't owe him anything. I'm not saying that anybody does, but you know what I mean. No one owes him anything. If there is a great debt that needs to be paid to Darkside Phil needs to pay it.
He's not doing that right. Oh, you see, he's embarrassed me because he's only doing this, he's only doing that. Right now, if I became like a triathlon athlete with ripped abs and a fucking, insane stamina or whatever, they'd say something negative about it. So
yeah, but that's never going to happen, though. You don't have the discipline for that. So I don't even know why you would even bring that up. And don't be wrong, I'm someone who theory crafts and shit, too, so it is what it is. But that right there makes no sense because that's not in the realm of possibility. Or even plausibility. That's just not, you're not built for that.
Sharing that stuff with you because honestly it doesn't affect my streams. It's not really a big deal. And I don't want idiotic people on the internet obsessing about me and my personal life. That's why I don't talk about it. No, and it's various levels. Robbie says, are they jealous? There's various levels. I'm sure there are some people who are jealous of someone who gets to sit around and play games and do a podcast and talk to an audience and make a living doing it. I'm sure there's some people who...
Wait, what? First off, and I've been a very large proponent of this, no one should be jealous of Darkside Phil for anything. You sitting around playing video games, you don't get paid to do that. You get paid to beg. You having a podcast... Holy shit. You want to say... And that anybody can do that. You're going to have to put work into it. It's not going to be like as easy as it was when Phil got into the game, but it doesn't matter because Phil ain't fucked up the game for himself like 3 or 4 years in. So he literally has been failing for a better part of a decade. It doesn't even matter. As it pertains to a podcast, anybody can start a podcast. A 1-man podcast, a 2-man podcast, a 3-man podcast, etc. Anybody can do that. You think that makes you relevant? You really think that makes you relevant? It's nothing more than a cesspool or, like a crucible to wait for you to say something stupid so that shit can get clipped so everybody can laugh about it. Like, if you think about it, like, literally comparisons to it. Dude, there are detractors who make far more money off of DSP than he makes off of himself. That's what it's come down to. How the fuck can you be jealous of someone who can't even really make a living off of himself? How does that work? He doesn't make a living doing YouTube. He doesn't make a living streaming. He makes a living begging. Because he definitely ain't making shit on his videos when most of those videos aren't at 100, can't break 1,000. When's the last time you saw a video that was at 5,000 or more? It's been a minute. So how much do you think he's really pulling like that? So outside of the few $100s on Patreon, God knows what he's making behind the scenes. Because, most of the smart pay pigs are smart enough to actually donate off screen. or off stream, because they know there's no point in getting targeted. It's so much easier to do that now, which is something they probably should have been doing in the beginning. And I don't advocate giving DSP money for shit, but god dog, you might as well go ahead and do that off stream. You don't need, trust me, whatever clout that you think you're getting off of giving DSP donation money, it's probably not worth it. You probably need to make better life decisions. Just saying. So what is there to be jealous of when all the things that he does you could do? Even now, as low as his views are, the type of views he pulls in are the views that most people can get just starting up. If they have a personality and they have the and if they can, you know, really get some traction on social media, which is either Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, like, you can... DSP is not in a privileged position. I doubt to say I disagree in saying that he ever was. And even if you wanted to say that he was, it don't matter. He couldn't keep it. He's literally become a charity case. He's an example of internet welfare. Quite literally. Because if he don't beg, he don't get paid. If he don't beg, he don't get paid.
Really hate my guts for various reasons too. Keep in mind, there's so many people out there on the internet who've listened to complete misinformation and skewing of any kind of truthful information about me for years and years, and they legit hate me because of nonsense that they believe is true. They're nuts. But that, a lot of people are like that on the internet. They just want to sit there and believe really messed up, toxic stuff. So to hear
now,
that,
keep in mind, this is the same idiot who the very people he's trying to advocate to give him a chance are the same people that are idiots or stupid because they listen to a detractor, troll, hater, and critic before they could go ahead and listen to his pig whistling, before they could get brought under the pignosis. And he wonders why people stay away from him like the plague. How the fuck, if I want... Okay, example. If I'm trying to get more viewership, right? Why would I say, oh, well, if you're not watching my content, you're stupid? Or if you are watching my content and you don't agree with everything I say, you're stupid. Why would I want to say that if I want to retain viewership or if I want to bring in more viewership? Like, how retarded is that? And yet, that's all he does. Then again, this is the same idiot who had an interview years and years and years ago. And said that the interviewer was contacted by, I guess, a bunch of people, and lied on that same interviewer and said, "Oh yeah, all these people went ahead and reached out to me. They're all mentally ill." And then the interviewer had to come out and say, "Whoa, I did not say that. That's not what happened." So if he was willing to lie on some random person like that, if he was willing to blatantly lie on someone else like that, why would you listen to anything that he has to say? Why would there be any value whatsoever in anything that he has to say under those situations, under those circumstances? And given his track record, the dude is addicted to lying, even on other people if he thinks he can get away with it. And I don't even think it's about getting away with it anymore. It's an impulse. It's just something that he does because he can't help himself. That's why he likes running around saying everybody's mentally ill, this, that, and the third. When truth be told, because I'll go ahead and say it because no one else seems to want to say it, he's the one who's actually mentally ill. He's the one with the real problem. I'm not saying that I'm any better than anybody else as it pertains to it, but clearly that's where the problem actually lies. If he was man enough to approach it, then maybe he'd be all right. This is the same idiot who was on the cocktail of medication. He was the same idiot that was fucking obsessing about some girl, and that he was getting riled up to the point where he was going to do something drastic. What were you going to do that was going to be drastic, Phil? And question, were you going to do something drastic to yourself or to her?
That guy who we used to make fun of and say that he was fat isn't fat anymore? No, let's discredit that. Let's do this, let's do that. Despite the fact I'm literally sitting here in a shirt that shows you that I'm not fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no. That must be one of those slimming shirts that completely squeezes his body. You know, okay. Whatever you say. Welcome back, Jade. Good to have you here. Yusef, thank you for a super chat. He's been a fan for 12 years. Nuts when you think about that. Don't ever stop being you. Thank you, Yusef. What a nice thing to say. Thank you for being a viewer for so long and a fan for so long. I appreciate that. The scale scholar just feels ripped, 15% body fat. No, and I'm certainly not saying that, and I'm certainly not saying I'm the healthiest dude. I'm saying I'm healthier than I used to be. I mean, you can see it, that I'm healthier than I used to be. But then again, people will take that. Oh, you see, Phil's saying that he's like so physically fit. What a
It's
joke.
not about you
He's
being physically fit, because clearly you're not physically fit, to be honest with you. If I could take a dryer sheet and swipe that shit across your pig skin and you're going to bleed, then there's fundamentally a problem. If you can be pushed over by a gust of goddamn wind, there's probably a fundamental problem there. It's not about you being physically healthy. It's also the mental aspect of it too, and you're far from that. So trust me, we can look at you and tell that you're not physically well. That's very clear. I mean, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same idiot who told us, even as early as this year, as early as a few months ago, that, hey, I have a lot of medical problems going on behind the scenes that I don't want to talk about at the moment. He said that. So we know that he's not healthy. And then if you go ahead and take his mentality into it, you bring the mental aspect into it, he's even worse. So no one has any delusions that Darkside Phil is running around here saying that he's, you know, physically endowed and he can fucking take on somebody. You can't. You couldn't handle your wife. You couldn't handle your underage girlfriend. How the fuck am I supposed to think that you could do anything else? Let's call a spade, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't man enough to handle Panda. She'd been bitching about there wasn't enough sex going on. There wasn't enough panty time going on since they left Connecticut. And then, given Catherine ain't gained all that weight, certainly she hasn't been getting a good time at the Snort Fort. And if she is, it isn't by the king of Snorts himself. So let's be honest about it as it pertains to physical health. And if he was physically healthy, if he was actually happy, that would be able to that would translate through the content. He's miserable by the day. The smallest things set him off, especially this year. This year, he's been all over the fucking place. I understand people are saying, oh, he's got a midlife crisis thing going on or whatever. That's debatable. The divorce arc or saga, that's debatable. But clearly, mentally, he's fucked. And it's just progressively getting worse. And maybe that's the reason why some detractors want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Because maybe they see it. Maybe. But trust me, he's certainly not physically well. He's probably in the worse shape now than he's ever been. He wants to focus on the superficial shit about him having a gut or whatever the case may be, a gunt, or whatever the case may be. But that don't matter, Phil, because physically, you're going to carry that gout. That's what the truth's going to be. You're going to carry that gout. And then you're going to carry whatever other underlying or whatever other diagnosed problems you have. Because you keep talking about all these appointments and shit that you guys have, and I'm thinking they're medical issues for you, Catherine, or both. And now that I think about that, maybe, just maybe, there's a reason why Jasper couldn't get a $300 blood test. Maybe his owners are really fucked up and they couldn't afford it. And maybe that's the reason why that arcade stick was more than likely paid on some type of layaway plan through Amazon or whatever the case may be. I'm just guessing. But it has to be something. Because you can't say that, oh, well, he's taking Jasper to all these appointments, when we know Jasper only goes to the vet once a year, and that's for his yearly shots. He can't even get a blood test. So somebody, or somebodies, in that house is really fucked up, physically. And that's why they have to keep having all these appointments scheduled. Makes you think.
Fat. See what I mean? Anything that I say gets twisted into a negative. So that's why I don't bother. That's why bother talking about any kind of fitness, any kind of change in diet. You know, if I feel like I can help you guys by giving you a little bit of information, I will. But I just don't see the reason to be talking about it when these idiots always turn that shit into a constant negative.
Well, see, that contradicts itself because one, if you really only cared about the betterment of your own community, you wouldn't care about what assholes like me say. If one person in your community can take that information and build upon it and better themselves, that right there should be the goal. You remember, Phil, like that charity event that you wanted to have all those years ago, but you couldn't have it because the tides, or not tides, your reputation took a major hit and the tides turned against you. I guess I'm going back to that, about what people thought about you as a person, and that's why you couldn't do the fundraiser or you couldn't do the charity event. The charity event wasn't supposed to be about you. It was supposed to be about the kids or whatever the case may be. Unless that charity event was supposed to be for you. But then again, I mean, we've already seen one lol cow this year, Review Tech USA. We ain't seen how his panties got into a bunch over charity. So how could I expect anything better? Matter of fact, I'm glad Rich did what he did. Because it really is the measuring stick of what someone like you would have done if you had actually done it. But back to my point. If it was really about the betterment of your community, you wouldn't care about what assholes like me say. It's all about the community, remember? Just like how we used to have community nights for Street Fighter, until shit started to cut a little too close, and then all of a sudden, fuck the community. Right, ladies and gentlemen? Right? Right. So, who's it really for, Phil? Is it really about the community? Is it really about the people within the community? Or is it about your fragile little fucking ego? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this bitch-made motherfucker already told us that he can't handle criticism, and he doesn't like being criticized. So how the fuck am I supposed to believe, and how the fuck are you supposed to believe, that it's all about helping somebody in his community? Just wondering.
No matter what, it's not good enough. So why would I ever want to try to please those people with information? I don't care. I don't care what they think. Here's what I know. I'm healthier. I'm happier. I'm at the best place I've been in my life right now. I'm super happy with my personal life and how things are going on streams and everything. This is great. So I got no complaints. I'm happy. Let's keep going, right?
How many memberships do you have? How many memberships did you lose? Okay, I was just curious. That's a business thing, so you shouldn't have a problem with me talking about that. I'm just asking.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Cypress says no matter what, those kind of people always find something to make fun of or say isn't good. If you're not fat, oh, it's because you talk a weird way. Oh, you sit a weird way. Oh, you did this wrong. Exactly right. That's why I'm not here to please those people. Why on earth would I give a shit what they say? But then again, the more you say, the more you share. If you overshare, oh my God. If you overshare, that's a big problem. That's what.
Did he just not contradict himself? Why the fuck would I care what these people have to say? But then by the same token, if I do say something, then they're going to say this. This whole segment was about what other people think. And the criticism that he would get from that. So how the fuck are you going to go ahead and shoehorn this bullshit in and think that you're still making a point? And then oversharing, he has nothing to overshare. His life is an open book. His life is legitimately an open book. When he don't have shit to say, and when you get into these lame-ass fucking improv Q&As or whatever the fuck, you pretty much can get whatever you want if you can sit around long enough to stomach it. And he's done like 2 at the very least recently. I haven't gone through it, so trust me, I'm right there with you. I haven't stomached shit yet. But you know what I'm saying? It makes you wonder. So how the fuck are you going to sit there and say, I don't care what people think, and then throw the caveat in that, oh, if I overshare. There's nothing to overshare. He doesn't have anything to overshare. His life is boring, dull, and he has no real stimulants whatsoever. Not even from his own audience. Given what Derek ended up taking the other day, or yesterday, over that flow situation, that proves it. There was a time where Derek could damn near do no wrong. But as of late, and even before yesterday, to be honest, DSP is clearly tired of dealing with Derek and the constant questions over and over and over again. And maybe they are the same type of questions. I don't know. I don't follow it that close. But even if it is, you set a precedence by answering the same goddamn questions over and over and over again. Matter of fact, I think Phil even bitched and complained about how, oh, there are people waiting around, waiting for me to say goodnight to them and shit. I'm not here for... You're the one who did that. You're the one who went ahead and designated yourself as babysitters or whatever the case may be. That wasn't pushed upon you. You enabled that. You took on that responsibility. Good night, Derek. You enabled that. Remember?
Oh, you sit a weird way. Oh, you did this wrong. Exactly right. That's why I'm not here to please those people. Why on earth would I give a shit what they say? But then again, the more you say, the more you share. If you overshare, oh my God. If you overshare, that's a big problem. That's what a lot of people get into problems with right now as content creators. They overshare. I used to do that a lot. I overshared. When you're oversharing private stuff, yes, that can be used to legit hurt you. So you got to be careful about what you say and do in your own content, because people will use that for nonsensical reasons, right? Canadian Kirk is complaining about the amount of ads on my videos. I have two things to say about that. Number one, no, I don't control it. I don't manually say, hey guys, every time I put out an hour video, please add 10 ads to that video. I have no control over that. YouTube determines all of that. All you do is you pick the kind of ad. So you say, yeah, every once in a while do a pre-roll. Yeah, you could do some mid-rolls, right? That's all you do. You just click on the type of ad. That's it. YouTube determines.
Now, I'm not monetized, so I don't know how. I can't actually say how much of that is true or whatnot, because the last time I heard, you could set a pre-roll and then one at the end of the video, and then if you decide to have videos in the middle, you could choose where to put it. Because, like, for example, like, I like watching a lot of lore videos and whatnot, a bunch of different stuff. But so, for example, like some of the people that I watch, they'll put, like, right when they cut from, let's say, Vampire the Masquerade, because I've talked about that already, so it is what it is. When they move from one character lore to another within the same video, that's usually where the next pre-roll is. Or not pre-roll, but that's when the next ad is in. And then after that, it'll be, like, let's say they do like 5 or 6 characters. That's usually where it is, if they even decide to go that route. I don't know if what he's saying is true or not, so I can't say. If someone else has some insight on it, by all means, I'm open ears. But I can't say that he doesn't have that as much control as he's trying to say. That doesn't sound right. Theoretically, historically speaking, back when the Etika situation happened, and we went ahead and did our pre-stream, getting our blood money off Etika's dead body, there was a whole lot of ads in that bitch, and Phil lied and said he didn't put any ads on that video at all. He said YouTube did it. He's still been bitching about that to this day, which is funny because that harkens back to some shit that fucking Angry Joe said back when Jew Wario died. But that's semantics. That's some old stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about some new stuff, and they go be bringing up old shit. So it is what it is. So I can't really contest whether that's true or not. I really can't. I don't believe him just off rip, but I can't actually say that he's blatantly lying about that. But wait till the next part though.
Bad stuff. Now, do I have the chance to go back after the fact and fix that? Yeah. Do you really think that I'm going to go back on every video I upload and delete half the ads? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Particularly this time of year, there's way more ads because it's the busiest time of year for advertisements on YouTube. All the companies right now are advertising their content, and therefore, that's why you're seeing more ads. All I'm going to say...
Now, and this goes into... I'm sure he's going to go into YouTube Premium on this part. Now, here's the thing, though. So, as he said, I didn't put all those ads on there. YouTube does. But do I have the power to go back after the fact and restructure them a little bit or whatever to better your viewing experience, yeah, I could. Am I going to do it? Nope. Nope, I'm definitely not doing that shit at all. Fuck you. And then on top of fuck you, the holidays are coming up. So, I'm hoping to get some of these premium ads, which he's not getting, by the way. But he still thinks he is. These premium ads for the holidays are coming about, and I'm about to get paid. So, yeah, fuck you. It's for the business, dude.
So you say, yeah, every once in a while I'll do a pre-roll. Yeah, you could do some mid-rolls, right? That's all you do. You just click on the type of ad. That's it. YouTube determines the ad stuff. Now, do I have the chance to go back after the fact and fix that? Yeah. Do you really think that I'm going to go back on every video I upload and delete half the ads? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Particularly this time of year, there's way more ads because it's the busiest time of year for advertisements on YouTube. All the companies right now are advertising their content, and therefore, that's why you're seeing more ads.
Now, you know what I love about this more than anything? I love the fact that you presented him a problem. He says, oh, it's not my fault. That was something that, YouTube does. He tells you that he could fix it, but he says he's not going to do it, and then justifies not doing it by, oh, I'm going to get paid more money because it's the holidays. It's almost as if you did do it. You certainly condoned it. You know what I'm saying? You consented to it. So, I mean, one could probably make the argument that, you're just as bad, Phil. You know what I'm saying? If you know that shit's intrusive and it's like hindering the viewing experience, who's to say that, oh, well, if that's the case, then I'll just skip the video altogether? You know what I'm saying? Like, why bother if that's the case? If I'm going to be inundated with fucking ads, why do I feel the need to fucking waste my time with this shit then? I can just go to another content creator who will have that shit spaced out, and I'll just give them my view. But here's where the pitch comes into play. What does DSP call those people who do stuff like this? Shills? Shills. Shills? Shills. Shills.
All I'm going to say is YouTube Premium. It's a no-brainer. If you watch YouTube all the time, if you enjoy content on YouTube, YouTube Premium. I know you might say, I have to pay for that. You do. But if you watch YouTube all the time, it's like a little over, I think it's like $15 a month or something like that. It's such an insanely different experience to watch YouTube with absolutely nothing intrusive. Having the ability to do whatever you want with the app. You can minimize the app and still have it play in the background. You can download stuff ahead of time and play it wherever you want. It's such a different experience.
Now,
I got it.
I can't remember what stream it was, but it might have been like a month or two ago. I was listening to Meerkat, big ups, who was talking about this because DSP brought this up trying to pitch YouTube Premium, and I swore Meerkat he had named an alternative. Actually, he showed it on stream. And what, I don't know if I remember the URL for that shit. But I remember Meerkat had mentioned something like there was a workaround for that. Because there's always a workaround for that shit. I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm sure someone will mention it in the comment section. But there's a workaround for that. If you want to skip out it. Because there's some people that just don't see the value in doing that. So don't think there's not a workaround if that's the case. But anyway, that's just, I thought I'd just throw that out there. Let's continue to listen to the pitch.
Last year when I started doing React content, I would never use YouTube again without it. It would drive me insane. You also have to understand that ad blockers are on the way out. These companies have been wise to them for many years, and they're actually designing ways around them now. I heard that YouTube just implemented a new way to block all ad blockers. So, yeah, you're going to want to get YouTube Premium, man. Seriously. Okay. We got to get going. But Bill says, I question a bunch of companies and content creators. No, hold on. I criticize a bunch of companies and content creators. Does that make you a detractor? No, it makes me a critic. That's different. Critics are someone who criticize something for the right reasons, meaning they're looking to be constructive. Detractors are people who literally, no matter what you do, it's not good enough for them. No matter what they don't like you.
I mean, that's literally you, though. That's literally you in a nutshell, though. Like, almost word for word. That's literally you. Like I said, there are far more reasonable detractors over here than clearly people in your own fan base or viewer base or whatever the fuck. And they do give you a lot of constructive criticism. And actually, a lot of the advice that they've given to you, other detractors and other content creators at large, have taken that and used that themselves. So what makes you any different when you're saying fuck Nintendo and fuck Rockstar and all this nonsense? That right there is supposed to be constructive criticism? You laughing or taking joy in the fact that people are losing their jobs, like with that Machinima situation when they fell, that was you being constructive? Or when Blip TV went down and you joked about that and you were happy that people lost their jobs over there, and then you had to go on Twitter, at least for the Machinima thing, you sat there and boasted and gloated about Machinima falling and all those people losing their jobs. And then people on Twitter, basically, not even detractors, people on Twitter got on your ass about that, and then you had to go back and restructure it and basically say, well, I didn't necessarily mean it like this. Like, you don't know what they did to me, man. And no one gave a fuck. You had already gloated about people losing their jobs. People who didn't know you, and how many years removed were you from Machinima before they fell? What kind of sick fucking... I can't even say you're a human being. What kind of sick fucking person are you? To gloat about people losing their jobs who don't even know who the fuck you are. Most of the people who were involved when you fell in 2017 were probably already long gone anyway. And you had to have known that. And yet you still felt the need to go on Twitter and make an ass out of yourself. And you wonder why people don't like you. You wonder why people don't want to deal with you. You wonder why, if a company was dumb enough to even have any interest in you, there's going to be a bunch of good Samaritans that are come out and be like, you might allow us to reintroduce you to who Darkside Phil really is. Jesus Christ.
The reason they're around is to detract and say you're not good enough and insult you. That's the difference. I would love, the things that I criticize, I would love for those people to change and be better. I would love for a company to change and do better. But I'm going to be honest and criticize them.
Wait,
and give them
didn't you shit on PewDiePie? I know you were big mad when PewDiePie got married and he got all the attention and you didn't. But didn't you get real assholish on PewDiePie when you heard that he had a kid coming? I can't even remember all the details of that shit now. Fuck. I might have to go and find the stream. But I know someone knows what I'm talking about. Where I can't remember if you said he wasn't going to be a good father or if you said that he was going to be irresponsible. I can't remember exactly how you worded that, but or what you were implying. But there has to be someone who kind of remembers what I'm thinking. How was that going to make PewDiePie a better father? That was his personal life, right? You know, that personal life that you want to try to keep separated? Like, how is that supposed to make him a better person, a better father, a better provider, by having some piece of shit who has essentially been jealous of PewDiePie his entire career, run around and basically defame him as a parent before he was even a parent? How is it that you talking all that shit about Ninja and Dr. Disrespect and Markiplier, now that I think about it, for culling their hair and doing all the goofy shit and whatever, how is that supposed to make them better content creators, Phil? I'm just saying, if we're going to go ahead and start taking shots, let's go ahead and take shots at everybody. How is that supposed to make them a better content creator? By making fun of how whatever their personas are, or gimmicks, or whatever you want to call it. Here, I got another one. How about that guy on Twitch, the one who had colored his hair like purple or blue, whatever it was, and you went ahead and thought you could shout on him and thought you were going to be safe on Twitch, and then you end up getting indefinitely banned, and then you end up coming back like 48 hours, 72 hours later? How was that constructive criticism, and how does that make that content creator better? I'm just wondering. I got a good one. How is you calling Maximilian a sellout, a liar, and a shill? How does that make him a better content creator? How is that supposed to help him improve? I'd love to know that one. That's fantastic. And not just Max, But anybody else who had hashtag ad in the description of their YouTube videos or streams or on Twitch, how was that supposed to make them better? How was that constructive criticism? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Feedback, as opposed to my many times, who I consider my detractors, don't do that. They literally say everything I say and do is not good enough, and they will never be satisfied with anything that I do to change for the better, because that's not their game. Their game is always saying I'm horrible, so they have content to put out.
Well, one, I gotta be honest with you, I don't want you to change. Two, you can't change. I already know you can't. And any changes that you do make, if you even want to call them changes, are superficial and you won't hold on to it long, and or you'll find a way to fuck that up. Trust me, you're doing just fine the way you are. You're a born fuck up. And you do it just so goddamn well. I've never seen someone willingly to shoot themselves in the hoof over and over again at their own deficit and just be okay with it. Outside of Cobra and maybe Wings. Okay, so maybe I have seen it. But you know what I mean. Trust me, you're doing fantastic. Trust me, I don't need you to get better, because I know you won't. And with every minute that goes by, with every breath that you can pull through your fucking snout, you'll prove me right. So, there's nothing to lose. If you want to go ahead and torture yourself, by all means. I'll still be here to laugh at it and cut that shit up into delicious strips of bacon, and I'll serve it to the public. If you don't, then you'll still be that useless piece of fucking pig that I'll still cut up and serve up and send and fucking put it out there for the population no matter what. It's not even about winning or losing. You chose to give up and be a quitter and be a loser a long time ago. And you've never done anything to try to change that. That's the reason why you have to go on Twitter and suck dick to anybody who's willing to listen to you. When deep down you know they don't like you. You know they don't respect you, and you know they're just humoring you. You know that. You know that deep down. I know you know that. And it makes you sick. But you think, oh, you'll play the game, and maybe they'll just deal with it. And maybe eventually they'll accept you. Which is weird, because for someone who has supposedly given so much to the FGC, for example, why do you have to wait for people to accept you? For someone who's given so much to the gaming community, why do you have to wait for people to come around and accept you? Isn't that strange? Isn't that weird? Or wait. Or maybe you never gave anything to anybody. Maybe it was all completely and utterly self-serving. Everybody decided to pass on that slop. And now, you're just out here, merely existing, and nobody cares, and it hurts you. It hurts you a lot that even when you're on your little fucking podcast, that you really can't get a response out of people. Not out of the people that you want. See, Justin's smart enough not to respond to you. Maximilian is smart enough not to respond to you. You're not dumb enough to go at Yipes or Sanford or any of those guys. But these younger dudes that you were throwing shots at on your little fucking Street Fighter 6 streams, your little bitch fest, Bitch Fighter 6, when you were doing that nonsense and you were talking shit about them youngins, them boys were quick to come out and be like, who the fuck is this? Who's he? What's he done? Tell him to stay off my tip. And then look at you. Then you have to go back to your little bitch ass podcast. Well, I played a guy last night, and I came to the realization that I shouldn't be accusing people about it. Bitch boy. And you know everybody looks at you like that. And you think if you can buddy up to Justin, or you can buddy up to anybody in the old guard, that would force people to respect you. Nah. Even with everything that happened to Arturo earlier this year, even he couldn't turn shit around for you. He's having a hard time turning shit around for himself. But eventually I think he'll get there. But he can't do anything to help you. He shouldn't be expected to. Wow. Well, you guys see what pigs can do.
Dab Hands, I actually 100% agree with you there. He says, I don't like feeling forced into getting YouTube Premium because it feels like YouTube has purposefully put more advertisements everywhere to create their own market for premium. Correct. I would never disagree with your statement. Not once. That's correct. YouTube has done this systematically over the years, and this was always their long game plan. It was. That's what they want you. They want everyone on YouTube Premium. And you might say, well, I'm going to fight the man or whatever. Well, understand something. How many hours of free content do you digest on this site every month?
What the fuck? Wait a second. What are you, Bad Bunny now? I thought Bad Bunny was emulating you. Now you ain't gone full circle to emulate her? Holy shit. Wait a second. So you can run around and talk shit about all these influencers out here, right? All these people who take sponsorship deals, take brand deals, take endorsements and shit, and call them sellouts to these big companies or whatever, right? And it's because of that practice is the reason why the game's getting all fucked up. But you're okay with bleeding your audience. So what? YouTube can get the bigger cut or get a better cut or get more money in general? Because this is the only way you can actually, quote unquote, make a living? So it's okay to go ahead and shit on all these people who are just trying to better their situation, trying to grow their brands, try to bring more money in without being intrusive on their viewers, their fan base, or their viewership. But you're okay with bleeding these same idiots who you're bleeding every day anyway to go into YouTube Premium because it benefits you damn near directly. Because the ads aren't paying well. Which is weird to me, because if ads were paying as good as DSP tries to imply they are, especially around the holidays, why would you push everybody to premium? And if all those people are sellouts, shills, liars, then why the fuck should I believe you sucking Google's dick? God damn, I'm confused. I am legitimately confused. Holy shit.
Anything for any of that content, right? Now, maybe you do. Maybe you actively choose to contribute to your favorite YouTuber or whatever. That's different. But do you actually have to pay for a single piece?
Sorry, here, let me bring the Bad Bunny part back. Let me bring the Bad Bunny part back. Holy shit. Oh, Phil, what a hypocrite.
To create their own market for premium? Correct. I would never disagree with your statement. Not once. That's correct. YouTube has done this systematically over the years, and this was always their long game plan. It was. That's what they want you. They want everyone on YouTube Premium. And you might say, well, I'm going to fight the man or whatever. Well, understand something. How many hours of free content do you digest on this site every month? Do you pay anything for any of that content, right? Now, maybe you do. Maybe you actively choose to contribute to your favorite YouTuber or whatever. That's different. But do you actually have to pay for a single piece of content on this site? No. YouTube says, well, we got to make a living. We're going to run ads on that content. They have the legal right to do that. You may say it's moral or immoral depending on how many ads they put on a video, but they have the right to do that, correct? So if you want to continue to enjoy the content and you got to drop a few bucks to do it, at least, I would say for now, at least be happy. Everything's free. Thank God they're not actively making you pay to access the site. Thank God, because that would be the end of a lot of people's business models, including mine. You know, I've always been Mr. Free. I get everything for free. I don't have any paywalls hiding any content or anything like that.
Wait, that's a lie, because isn't the full reaction events that happen on DSP Reacts, aren't all of those things, the full stream, aren't those things behind paywalls? Until he gets off his fucking ass and cuts them up and puts them, you know, on the channel in segments later? So that's a paywall. If you wanted to vote for games and everything, you had to go on to Patreon for that. That's a paywall. If you wanted to be able to vote for games and everything, you had to donate through, you had to tip him, or they had to hit a tip goal or whatever the case may be collectively. That's a paywall. And it's funny how he wants to sit there and say, oh, well, you guys enjoy all this free content. You should be so glad. Well, here's my question to him. How you've made quite a bit of money on this platform. How much money did you put in on it? I'll wait. How much money did he put in on it? Makes you think.
But there you go. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But the way I see it, if you're someone who frequents YouTube enough and you're getting enough content out of the site, then you should drop the money for it, right? Like, there's people out there who like...
You should drop the money for it. You should drop the money for it.
If you're someone who frequents YouTube enough and you're getting enough content out of the site, then you should drop the money for it, right? Like, there's people out there who, like, let's say, for example, my content now. If you're watching this right now and you enjoy the content, but you know that I make a living on crowdfunding, maybe you'd throw me $1 tip. Maybe you would do a super chat or become a member. It's the same premise, right? At least in my case, I'm not forcing you to do it. YouTube seems like they're forcing you to do it, right? But hey, that's how everything's going to go. It's like I said, when I started on this website, it was the Wild
But that's
West.
not, wow, great screenshot. That's not actually true either, because if you guys don't donate, right, to the tip goal or whatnot, I'm not going to be able to play the big 4 games that are coming out right now because my paycheck's going to be delayed. Hey guys, I really need you guys to come through and really support me via tips, because I got a day off coming up and I want to be able to have a nice meal with my wife, and I want to be able to, you know, buy groceries and supplies for Jasper and all of that. I need you guys to really come through and help me out with that, because money's been tight. Right? Are these not all things or caveats? No, he's not saying, oh, if you don't give me this, this isn't going to happen. But that's kind of what he's implying. DSP has said for years, hey, if you guys enjoy the content and you enjoy everything that I do, I need you guys to buy in. It's the only way I'm going to be able to keep doing it. Well, that sounds like if you don't give me money, I'm not going to be able to give you this. But maybe I'm misreading that. Maybe that's what that is. It's possible.
It felt like it was a brand new thing and everyone was coming to the table with something new to offer, and it was really wild and different. Now this website's been around for 15, 20 years. Things are very different, right? Things are just like everything. It gets commercialized. It gets changed over time. And this is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first rodeo. This has happened with all forms of entertainment: movies, music, television, now the internet. Same thing's happening. You got to deal with it. It's just reality. Where the money is, that's where all these changes happen. And you got to either go roll with it, or what else are you going to do? Just quit. Oh, I've decided I'm just not going to watch YouTube ever again because I don't want to see an ad. And my ad blocker doesn't work anymore. Okay, I guess. If that's really what you want to do, you want to miss out on all that content, I mean, go for it. But for me, I'd much rather pay, you know, $10, $15 a month for YouTube Premium and enjoy the entire site ad-free, everything on demand as I want, better quality, you know, download ahead of time, all of that. It's amazing. It's much better.
I mean, you could say that, but people will find workarounds for it. People will upload people do that now, actually. People will upload their content to other sites and whatnot. People will, if there's a will, there's a way. And trust me, people like you, mainly you really, will end up suffering the consequences later. You're not that much in demand where someone can't screen record you and put it somewhere else. And people will go to it. It is what it is. Huh? Womp womp.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. I ran too late today because I started late. Thank you all. Great podcast today. I'm excited to see how Assassin's Creed ends.
All right. Well, fun times to be had. I gotta say, fun times to be had. Okay, so give me a minute to kind of clean up. We'll reconvene for final thoughts, and I'll let you guys go on with your day. See you guys in just a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Fun times, I'm sure. Tackled a lot of subjects, or a lot of topics, I should say, excuse me, on this nonsense. It is what it is. So, that's a thing. Recap. like I said, LTG is still living rent-free in Darkside Phil's head, and don't let nobody tell you different. Holy shit. As well as his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. The situation with Kat and the not wanting to do any, not even make content, just not wanting to play a game with her after, you know, outside of streaming or outside of his regular content is kind of funny and hypocritical, because he's like, I don't want to think about games, I don't want to boot up a game or anything like that, but you're okay with watching other people play video games? Like, what? Like, okay, I guess. Wouldn't it have been much more of an immersive and intimate experience with you and Catherine? Maybe co-oping some of these games instead of watching someone else play it? Semantics. The thing with the weight, I don't care how skinny fat he is or whatever the case may be, he's no healthier than really anybody else, to be honest with you. And like I said, him systematically starving himself, good on you, but you'll never get any type of real results until you actually get active and actually do something. He doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to physically exert himself doing anything. That's the same asshole who's bitching and complaining about playing video games and being exhausting, right? Like, look at Street Fighter 6. My hoof hurt because I have to do all these combos and I have to react to everything. This piece of shit, you're supposed to tell me that right there is supposed to be the peak of man pig health and whatnot, when we crying about our hoof hurts on video games? Fuck out of here with that shit. And the YouTube Premium thing, that caught me a little bit off guard. I didn't know that I had caught that part, so that was a bit unexpected. A bit hypocritical too, to be honest. I don't have a problem with people using YouTube Premium. By all means, if that's the way that you choose to support the content creators that you choose to support, by all means, I have no problem with that. I'm definitely a pro content creator type situation with that. It's hypocritical for him to say what he's saying, though. That is hypocritical as fuck, knowing damn well that the only reason why he feels that way is because it directly benefits him and whatnot. But see, it would directly benefit him and his community by not having to levy all of these restrictions and all these buy-ins as it pertains to tipping, memberships, and super thanks and super chats and all that stuff, if he would just take an endorsement or sponsorship or whatever. He says he gets plenty of them each and every month, and he says he turns them down because he's not a sellout, he's not a shill, he's not a liar. But then, and he's quick to criticize other people for doing so as well. But is he not a shill and a sellout doing this, promoting this, and a hypocrite? Well, let's say this, hypothetical Pig Nose is our favorite game, late edition. What if people decided to stop supporting him through tips, through memberships, through super chats, and only invested their money into YouTube memberships, or YouTube Premium, sorry? What would he think of then? What would he think of that practice then? If you only had one, if you were a Dark Side Phil fan, I would normally call you a dent or any of that stuff, but I'll actually attempt to be respectful at this point. If that was if you only had one way of supporting Phil each and every month, and it had to be, or not had to be, but you chose for it to be, because we're all about choice in this broadcast, and your only choice, and one of the choices that you had was through YouTube Premium, and you decided to do that. How do you think Phil would actually feel about that? I want you to think about that. Because if you go back to when DSP had to make that transition from Twitch to YouTube, and he said that, oh, it's bullshit that YouTube doesn't have what Twitch has, where if you go ahead and use your, if you don't use your Amazon Prime sub, when you use your Amazon Prime sub on somebody, you can use their emotes and stuff on other people's streams, which is a cool feature. And it's unfortunate that YouTube is still behind the times by not allowing you to have that here. Ironically enough, why is it that DSP doesn't use his Amazon Prime for anybody on Amazon, except for people that he's trying to suck up to, like Justin Wong, for example? Each and every month he has a Prime. He's over there on his Twitch every month. He's over there every week. If you don't believe me, go over there into his chat and say some shit. Watch how quickly you get banned, because he monitors it. He could easily throw his Amazon Prime at anybody. At Kekken, at Brian, anybody who still streams over there. Anybody else from the FG scene, he never does. Or he very rarely does. Why is that? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. I will catch you guys for the next one, whenever that may be. I'm sure it'll be maybe next week. Maybe sooner, depending on how many of these I decide to do. DSP News, the Snort Report, SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Take care of yourselves, people.